Here at Jewellery Maker, we love seeing your jewellery creations, learning about your inspiration and reading your blogs. If you write your own craft or jewellery blog, then we'd love to hear from you. Simply tweet us at jewellery_maker UK with your blog link and we'll be in touch.
If you have a question or a query for Jewellery Maker, then you can contact our call centre on 0800 644 655 and press option 2. Or alternatively, you can email help@jewellerymaker.com. Get creative with Mark Smith with his Craft Fair DVD. Mark guides you through 6 sections of fascinating techniques that sell the best on his very own successful craft fairs. He concludes this DVD by sharing his own tips and hints that make his own stalls very popular. To get your hands on a copy of this fantastic DVD, contact our call centre on 0800 644 655. Get creative with Jewellery Maker.
Check Hannah Osborne with a little trolley bag. Hey? That's coming up on Saturday. Cannot wait to get that. We could fit Hannah Osborne in that trolley bag. I'm telling you. It's huge. Welcome to Jewellery Maker. If you've just tuned in, I'm Hannah Stuart, taking you through until 5 o'clock this afternoon, joined by the lovely sailoress. Is that even a word? That is Sammi Fletcher. Hi, Sammi.
Hello, gorgeous lady.
You look lovely today.
Thank you. Well, any excuse to dress up.
Oh, I know, you love it, don't you? You love it. I would love to see your wardrobe, actually, Sammi.
It's just,
I can imagine you've just got the most fabulous wardrobe.
I do.
You're a good friend to have, actually. You know, if you need to borrow anything to go out ever, Sammy's your lady.
Providing you're short and wide, I can sort you out. If you're tall and slim, you've got no hope.
We had this discussion before, didn't we, Sammi, about the maxi dress?
Oh yeah, no, maxi dress on me is not great.
No.
I'll be tripping over it as well. It's just not a good look. It's not.
Well, it's lovely to have you here anyway. Kits are fabulous today. We've got Swarovski crystal coming up for you in the first kit. It is so blue as well. Oh, it's beautiful. It really, really is, and really affordable today as well. Both kits stunning. So we'll have a look at those in a little while. I've got AAA graded Labradorite coming up for you. You'll want to own today, which is exclusive to us here on the Mid Show. I've got 2 pairs of, you know, yesterday I had those earring findings with the pearl drops. Today I've got perfect rounds, 7mm rounds coming up for you today. I've got a beautiful strand of topaz. I love it. It might quite possibly be one of my favourite strands today. This is so sparkly. Check this out. It's gorgeous. Oh, look, isn't it twinkly? So sparkly. I love this strand. That's coming up for you a little bit later on. I've got some beryl as well, and you know what? I've also got some tourmaline. Coming up for you first, I've got these 925 sterling silver rose connectors for you. Have a look at these. These are really sizable. I don't think I've ever seen these before. I've got 3 pieces in total, and actually just one of those, it's really weighty. Really weighty. So 925, wherever you're using this in any designs, and you know, you can incorporate this into any medium that you're working with as well. So, you know, whether it be your wire work, whether it be your polymer clay, your silver clay, whether it be your kumihimo, your macrame, you know, you can incorporate these into any design. You've got your multi-loops at the back there, which are actually really sizable. So you could fit, you know, a decent amount of strands through there if you wanted to, very easily. They're 30 by 13 by 7mm in size. The attention to detail in these is fantastic as well. You know, anything floral, it's never going to date, is it? You know, if you're coming in you're buying some kind of fabrics, you know, or you're buying some carved flowers that are gemstones or floral spaces, whatever it is, it's never going to date being with that floral theme. It's gorgeous. Now, we are going to bring you, we did this yesterday, didn't we? Started the show with the clearance price. We did. Should be £12.95. Remember, you're getting 3 pieces here. What's the total gram weight on these, Phil? 2.65 grams collectively you've got there. 3 of those. I mean, one of those just as a pendant. You could attach a jump ring at the top, couldn't you, if you wanted to, and pop that onto a 925 sterling silver chain. And then at the bottom there, you could hang some gemstones off there, some tassels off there if you wanted to. You could have it that way in a necklace design as well if you wanted to. Our producer Phil's going with a brooch. That'd be nice. Do you know what? You've got 3, so you could have a go at anything, couldn't you? Entirely up to you. AVRF 83. Do you know what? We're going down to less than £3 per piece for you today. Isn't that just incredible? How would you use these, Sammi, do you think, in your designs?
I think they're beautiful just as they are, so I'd want to make just like a focal of them.
Yeah.
Or they'd be nice as just earrings just on their own as well.
Because you could have the earrings in a pendant, couldn't you?
You could do, yeah. They're lovely. I mean, there's so many ways you can use them that I just adore all these new findings we've got. And I have some earrings that we do with the single flowers of those, because I completely love them, so it would make a perfect suite of jewellery.
Yeah.
But they'd be nice in a hairpiece too.
Of course.
For a beautiful bridal hairpiece with a multi-strand, and it would look absolutely amazing.
Wow, that would look fabulous, wouldn't it? Because you could quite easily do that, because they're quite sizable, actually,
They are,
aren't they? You could almost kind of use these with your clays as well, I'm thinking, you know, to use as a kind of imprint it into the clay, give you that texture within your clay. That would look fantastic, wouldn't it? AVRF83, really easy to get involved today. All you need to do is dial the number on the bottom of your screen, 0800 644 655, or on the web this afternoon at JewelleryMaker.com. It couldn't be any easier. If you're brand new and you haven't yet set up your account, all you need to do is dial the number on the bottom of your screen, come through to the call centre. You can press your number 1 button to come straight through, but there is an automated message if you want to listen to that. You're more than welcome to do so. Come through, they'll take some details from you, that's it then. Your account is set up and you are good to go. For our regular customers here at Jewellery Maker, you'll know that every time you dial there on in, it's a really speedy process, isn't it? You keep adding to your order as well. From midnight last night through till midnight tonight, 1 postage and packaging of just £2.95. That is standard here in the UK. £8.95. Louise in Hertfordshire's got herself 2. Well done, collect it in Nottinghamshire. Irene in Sussex, Lisa in County Down, Marianne in Essex, well done, Denise in South Yorkshire, Lorna in Greater Manchester, you're there, Marion in Northamptonshire, Wendy in Conway, well done to you. 0800 644 655. They are about to sell out, so if you've got them in your basket right now, you've just got to check out. Do you know what? Already, we've got to do this because it's going so low in price. Start by. Now, we had a strand of multicoloured tourmaline. I think it may have been in the clearance weekend. And I couldn't believe that we had it. It's one of those gemstones. You know, if you are a collector of gemstones, you'll know that there's just some that you don't expect to see that often, if at all, really. And for us to be able to get multicoloured tourmaline here at Jewellery Maker, it is incredible. It really is, because you have, in fact, an incredibly rare gemstone here and one of the most pleiochroic gemstones on the planet. Basically what that means is as the light hits it at different angles, you will see different colours coming from different directions. So sometimes if you look at the green ones, you might see these flashes of lime greens coming through. Then at other angles, you might see these more deeper, intense greens. With the pinks, at some angles you might see kind of violet, purpley hues, and then at other angles see those more vivid pinks. It has that incredible pleiochroism that is so magical, especially in natural daylight. Now you have 50 carats of multicoloured tourmaline. I can remember years and years ago, the first ever piece of jewellery that I saw, a multicoloured tourmaline ring. It was a one of a kind, and it was, I think it was high 3 figures, if not 4 figures. It was a one of a kind. It is a very, very rare gemstone. I've never seen tourmaline on the high street. And that's not to say it's not there, because it could well be, but I've never, in fact, I don't think I've ever even seen it in a boutique jeweller's, you know. It's one of those that you just don't see very often. You certainly have to go looking for it. Because of the rarity and because of the desirability that surrounds this gemstone, it can command really, really huge price tags. Now, we've bought you green tourmaline nugget strands here before. We've bought you the black tourmaline. We've bought you the pink, the green. You know, you've had these different colours over time. But to be able to get the multicolour, I think, is fantastic. It really is, because you have got all of those colours in one strand. And you know, I think going forward kind of into the autumn, you know, your autumnal hues, you've certainly got them in this tourmaline strand, haven't you?
You've got autumn, you've got summer, you've got everything in there. I adore multicoloured tourmaline because it just fascinates me that nature produces all these different colours in one stone.
Yeah.
I absolutely adore it.
It's phenomenal, isn't it? Just phenomenal. Now, that is actually a really, really long strand that you've got there, approximately 40 centimetres in length, and they are 5x3 to 7x4 millimetres in size. Can I just say, if you haven't checked this out yet, you'll need to do it. This is a collector's gemstone, and we've taken it down to £7.95. Even though this is a nugget strand, this is something I would expect to be around the £19.95 absolute minimum there, and we're at just £7.95. BOKY04 is your code for this one. 0800 644 655. Do get your certificate of authenticity. It's one of those gemstones, I think, you know, if, say for example, if you kind of separated those colours out and you put your pink tourmaline into some shepherd's hook earring finders and you made a pair of earrings and you said to a customer, that's pink tourmaline, I would doubt that, because it's so rare. You just don't see it very often at all. If you've got your certificate of authenticity there, it's only an extra 25p if you add it to your order, or you can print it off free of charge at the web, www.jewellerymaker.com. Don't have many of these left. In fact, how many did we start with, Phil? 53 is what we started with. Over half of the stock has already gone. If you haven't dialed yet, you can do it now. And you know what? You can take as many of these as you want to. What would you do with your strand, Sammi, do you think?
Well, I love it because it's one of those that all you simply have to do is put a clasp on it. So I'll probably I make a couple of bracelets and a necklace. Yeah. And then you've got a suite of jewellery, and I'd definitely be keeping one of them because I adore anything that nature produces, like fluorite in there, so many colours. I absolutely adore things like that. So and tourmaline just glistens so beautifully. I'd want it on my wrist.
It really is. And I think because of the array of colours that you get in a gemstone like this as well, it works so well with so many of the gemstones, doesn't it?
It does. And it's not something I've got a lot of. Yeah. I have a few bits, but I've paid premium for them because of what it is. So if I can ever get it, then I like to have it in, because it is not something that we obtain very easily. Yeah.
Well, I can't imagine anybody having a great deal of tourmaline in their stash, to be quite honest with you. You know, it's not a very abundant gemstone. So technically, you know, it should be commanding big price tags. Stella in Berkshire, you've got 2. Sue in Carmarthenshire, well done. Catherine in Midlothian ×2. Catherine in West Yorkshire, you've got 2. Angela in Cambridgeshire, you've got 2. Jenny in Somerset's got 2. Lisa in County Down's got 2. Stella in Berkshire's got 2. Do you know you've got a 30-day money-back guarantee? Get this home if for whatever reason you think, do you know what? It's not for me. Send it back. Just send it back. You've got that no quibble money back guarantee. David in Essex says, Hannah, suffering from chronic fatigue, but these colours livens me. Do you know what they do, don't they? They really, really do. They have that zest about them, don't they? I love that. I love that. I'm glad they're cheering you up, David in Essex. BOKY04. We've got about 15 in baskets right now, and we've got single figures left. So it's fastest fingers first. Right, that's going to sell out. And speaking of selling out, well, this kit, I tell you, do you know what? I saw the kit first and thought, that's incredible. And then I saw Sammi's jewellery. I thought, wow. Oh, Sammi, you need to wear this necklace.
I do.
You need to wear this necklace. It's perfect for what you're wearing today. Do you know what? I'm going to show you Sammi's pieces of jewellery first, because they are just, I mean, it's the colour of this Swarovski that is, it's almost like a tanzanite blue, I think.
It is so vivid and so sparkly.
I love these designs, Sammi. These are just exquisite. They really, really are. How stunning are these? Look how blue that Swarovski crystal is. Do you know, interestingly enough, it was only last night that I was looking on Tiffany & Co.'s website actually, and I was looking at tanzanite prices because, you know, it's interesting to see what's been happening since the ban on the mining has been put in place. And I was having a look on that, and I was looking at, you know, kind of quad A pieces, which is vivid colour. And I've got to be honest with you, if you just look at that cluster, that colour that you've got there, that reminds me of quad A graded tanzanite. It really, really does. I mean, they are stunning. So blue and so beautiful. Now there's 48 crystals that you're going to get there. We were talking about this again this morning. Because we were, as many of you are aware, under the Genuine Gemstone Company umbrella, if you like. So I have stood here for years and years and years and said, we say no to faux. And I genuinely meant that. You know, I'd learned all about genuine gemstones and trained with the GIA, etc. But I have to say, Swarovski crystal, hands up, it has converted me. It really, really has. Because for me, you know, it doesn't take anything away from the genuine gemstones. It just adds to them. That's what Swarovski crystal does. It just adds to those designs. It adds that incredible sparkle. And they are flawless, aren't they, Sammi?
They are. And to be fair, I've been using them for years. I don't think anybody who ever does bridal tends to use them. They're highly requested by brides.
Yeah, I bet.
So for this, I mean, you could go, I know it was nautical days, so I did nautical designs, but there's something blue for bridal. It's a perfect bridal kit, to be fair.
Isn't it?
If you went for that, you don't have to do what I've done with it in that case.
Yeah.
Just one of those. And every bride has heard of it.
Yeah. Definitely, you're absolutely right there. I mean, they're perfect for you. Just something blue, just that little bit of something blue in your designs, along with natural pearls. I mean, how high end does that look? They are gorgeous, absolutely stunning. So you've got 48 of your Swarovski crystal bicones there. Now they're 4mm in size. So again, you know, you can incorporate those into any medium. You like, you know, it might be your macrame and your kumihimo that you like to do at home. It could be wire work, it could be your clays. Again, you know, you can use them however you wish to do so. Simply just restranding them. They look gorgeous, don't they?
They do, and they have a lovely big drill hole as well. So I managed to get them on a 0.8 wire, which is really good.
I don't know if you can see that there. I'll try and show you the drill hole on those, but that's great. That's really handy to know actually, because a lot of the time, you know, it tends to be your 0.25, your 0.4, your 0.6, 0.8 is brilliant, isn't it? Yeah. Really, really fantastic. So you've got 48 of these, and I mean, have you used them all in your designs, Sammi?
I've used them all, and you can see that I've made a lot of jewellery, and I've gone quite heavy on the crystals. And so I've used all of them, but I've made an entire suite and an extra necklace. So.
Goodness me! I mean, they are stunning, and you've got natural pearls there as well. They are 5x4 to 6x5mm in size. Yesterday we were talking about the rarity of pearls, although we have them a lot here at Jewellery Maker. They are indeed very, very rare. You've got natural pearls there in addition to that kit. That's like the perfect match. The wire in this, fantastic as well. Gold dust. 100 metres of 0.4. Wire workers will know that if you're weaving, you will use a lot of your 0.25, a lot of your 0.4mm gauges. So great to be able to get 100 metres of that there as well. Sorry, Ryan. You've got 10 metres of your 1mm and 10 metres of your 0.8. So you've got some fantastic gauges there as well. Now, even if you are not predominantly a wire worker, you're bound to need wire at some point in your jewellery making. You know, you can make findings, you can make clasps with it, you can do so much with your wire. It's always great to have some wire in your stash, isn't it?
I mean, it is, because so often we run out of clasps. Yeah. So it's easy just to be able to knock a quick clasp up.
Yeah, of course.
And then, you know, you've got it there. Yeah. And that's why I like to have, in my stash, I've always got all the different colour wires. Yeah. Because I need it to go with whatever I'm making. Yeah. So, yeah, it's very good. And a handmade clasp often... I know we do some beautiful ones here, but it's often that little attention to detail. It is, isn't it?
And it adds to that design as well, doesn't it? So, fantastic. You've got 120 metres of wire there, 48 of your Swarovski crystals. I mean, Sammi, you have made 4 pieces of jewellery over here. What kind of price tag do you think you put on this piece, Sammi? This is my favourite.
I like that one. I mean, that would be about, it's got to be about £40. Yeah. For both of the necklaces. And then we're looking at about 30 on the bracelets. Yeah. And 20 for the earrings.
Wow. So that is 110. How much did you say for the earrings?
20.
So you're looking at about £130.
With put sterling
in it for you.
posts on them.
Yeah, they're gorgeous. Look how perfect they are. Just stunning. Some good money to be made in this kit for you, Sammi.
Yeah, there is. It's all about the time it takes to make
Yeah,
stuff.
of course, as well, yeah. £38 and 25 pence. So if you came in on the web today and bought all of these components individually, that is the price tag that you would be paying. Do you know, we have, in the gallery today, we have a new addition to the team, our James. And we were saying to James earlier on, we were talking about Swarovski crystal to James in the corridor and saying, do you know what? We were actually really shocked at how low Swarovski crystal is here at Jewellery Maker, because I've always perceived it to be something that is very expensive.
It is normally, yes.
Not here at Jewellery Maker. Really isn't. Not £38 and 25 pence here today. Going down. Do you know what? We are going to put over £20 back in your pocket. Essentially, what you've got at the top of your screen there is a discount code. £17.95. I mean, Sammi, for example, let's say you wanted to save the Swarovski crystals and your wire for something completely different, and you just re-stranded those pearls, 925 sterling silver class.
£60. That's what I for a non-round but perfectly natural pearl. £60 is what, and that's quite cheap for knotted onto silk. So that's what I do.
Brilliant. Isn't that just
I can't believe
phenomenal? Sammi, can I just do something? Can you please put this necklace on?
I hope so.
Because it is actually made for your neckline.
For me.
I'm going to do it because do you know what Sammy's gone all out with a sailor dress today.
I have, yeah.
I completely forgot, as I do when I have sleep. Oh, Sammi, see, that just looks incredible. That looks so high. Do you know what? I just can't help looking at them. I don't know if any of you at home have any, you know, tanzanite set into jewellery and stuff. If you've ever bought any AAA quad A, that to me is the colour of quad A graded tanzanite in those Swarovski crystals.
I just fell in love with them when I did it.
It's really, really
and the
stunning.
wonderful thing is, as you turn, it'll always catch the light. So when you're out, it just sparkles all the time.
And that's the great thing about the crystals as well. They are flawless. You know, if you're looking for clarity, if you're looking for that transparency, you certainly have it in those and those colours. I mean, win-win. With the blue there, blue is a very popular colour. You could put that with any of your genuine gemstone stash, and it's going to work, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I love using things like white topaz and clear quartz with Swarovski.
Yeah.
What it does is it enhances that glow. Yeah. So it like magnifies the sparkle. So I do a lot in like headbands and things like that because it just minimises the need for the Swarovski because it's beautiful. So you want to maximise your money's worth out of it. Yeah. And then, it just adds the sparkle so much.
It's just stunning, isn't it? Do you know, I think if you haven't yet got any Swarovski into your stashes at home, perhaps let this be the kit that, you know, you try it out with, because, you know, you can do so much with those, and it's such a fantastic colour. I think it is a great addition to anyone's stash that's not perhaps, you know, you've been with us for some time and you were exactly the same way that I was, you know, we say no to faux and all that. Just have a look, just have a closer look, investigate, see how it's going to work with your designs. Again, if you're not happy, 30-day money back guarantee there for your peace of mind. There's about 25 in baskets at the moment. Do check it out. Do you know this kit's going to sell out? It's going to sell out, isn't it? At that price tag, that's phenomenal.
I can't believe that price tag.
It's ridiculous. In fact, Sammi, that wasn't even where we should have been.
I'm not actually that shocked because that's too low.
Yeah. It's a bit naughty. Naughty.
Yes, it is.
Right, so you're going to show us the anchor.
Yeah, funnily enough, because that's the only design there. So I'm going to show you how to make the anchor.
Fantastic. And actually, it's really popular, isn't it?
It
actually.
is.
And it wasn't until I kind of saw your designs today, I thought, do you know what? You see it more often than you think.
You do.
And I think it would also make a great charm, isn't it?
It does. I mean, there's a little charm bracelet, so you can have it as a charm, you can have it as earrings. Yeah. So you can do anything with it, really. And it'd be quite, you know, it could be quite a masculine thing. Yeah. It doesn't have to be just a feminine design. So I'm not necessarily sure the guys would want the pearls, but you could just, you know.
Sue in London says, hello, sailor. Fantastic jewellery, Sammi, and you have truly embraced the theme of the day.
Thank you.
I forgot. Completely forgot.
I just love to dress up.
I know, yeah.
That's it. Any excuse to dress up.
Yeah. Why not, hey? Why not? Right, Sammy, I should let you crack on. Lovely.
Okay, well, I'm going to start with a 0.8. For the bigger ones, I use the 1 mil. I would say work with whatever gauge you are happy working with. Perhaps when you're practicing doing this one, start with a 0.8 and then go to the heavier gauge.
Okay, yeah.
I'm going to pull off about a foot and a bit. That's very descriptive. There you go. I'll measure it in a minute.
Foot and a bit.
A foot and a bit. But I don't quite know how many we have. Oh yeah, about 18 inches there.
Yeah.
So this is quite a lot. And you went not quite halfway, just maybe just over a third of the way down is where you're going to make your first bend. Now I'm going to use my thumb initially just to make that little bend there. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my favourite needle nose, use your favourite chain nose, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm going to just pinch the wire between them, and the reason for doing that is I'm going to make a little bend, and what I'm actually doing is using this as a measure, so that each bend is going to be in the same point. So what I've done, if I hold it like that, you can see all I've done is I've slightly bent it.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can pick that up at all. So what I'm then going to do, because there's the initial bend I made with my thumb, is I'm going to take that there and I'm going to bend it again. So you can see I'm just gripping and using that to help me bend. So you have like a bit of a paddle shape starting, a little diamond shape. So here I'm just going to bend it back up.
Right, yeah.
And that's the end of the paddle or diamond at the end there, and then I'm going to do the same thing here. And then if I just gently squeeze the ends together, you can see so you have the little end bit.
Yeah.
You can take your time and make that a little bit more defined if you want to. You don't actually have to do that. You could just make it like a little point and just bend it completely in half. So I'm going to go for about just under 1 centimetre, I think, and then do a 45-degree bend up with the top wire. So you have this. So now what I want to make sure I do is at the same point in distance, if you feel happier measuring and making a little mark, with maybe a CD writing pen, something like that on your wire, then you're just going to take your pliers like you did before and just make your little, I'm doing it backwards so you have to bear with. So yeah, I'm just going to make my little paddle shape at this end too.
Did you kind of just, you know, search on Search Engine for the image of an anchor? That you
I did.
Yeah.
I looked at the image of an anchor and then thought, right, how am I going to replicate that? Because I've got the perfect dress. That's what I thought.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm just doing the paddle at the other end. I'm going to put that down a second while I do it because it's just a lot easier. So I'm not holding it up. Right. And then you have it paddle at both ends, and I'm literally, where they meet in the middle, I'm going to do the second 45-degree bend. Sometimes you might get that a bit too close. If you do, just rebend it up. And then now you're going to start. Don't worry about it being flat because you'll shape that when you wire it together. We're not worrying about the rest of the shape at the moment either because you're going to start wrapping this now. So I'll just pick up a bit of 0.4. Like so, and I always poke it back through there so it doesn't just tie itself to everything. Now you use as much as you're happy working with. I'm just putting a small bit off because we're on TV and we don't want it going everywhere. So in one of the paddles, you're just going to push the wire through, attach it 3 times. Now, because this is open, you can bring your wire in through there rather than, she says. You can, I promise you. You can bring your wire in through there rather than having to go, or, you know, poking it up through and the rest of it. So, now you have just attached it in that little paddle shape. What you're now going to do is wrap these 2 wires together until you get to the middle bit. And all you're doing is taking the wire over and over and each time pushing it up really, really firmly, like so, until you get to the middle bit. I'll put this one down and I've got one that I have done. So, because we're not just going round and round and round. So you can see that's literally all I've done, round and round and round the 2 of them until we got to the middle bit. And then I have the wire, again, I'm using a shorter bit here just for demonstration purposes. Normally I'd have quite a long piece. I'm going to just slide a little crystal on there. I can spell that better than say it, you know, Swarovski.
It is one of those words, isn't it, that you always kind of get to and think, How do you spell that?
So all I'm doing is literally slid a crystal on, pushing it up with my thumb nice and firmly, and then continuing wrapping until I've got to the end. And you can see you can do that quite quickly actually. So I'll just quickly do that. But you just wrap it into, well, you don't need to watch me wrap it till the end and then tie it off, do you? So what you now do is, I'm just going to put this down quickly and pull another little bit of 0.4 off. Where have I put my cutters? There they are. And we're going to attach the 0.4 just behind this crystal, and it hides it.
Okay.
So literally just slide your wire in, get it butted up as close as you can underneath there, and just wrap around 2 or 3 times, and then just wrap the middle section together.
Yeah.
Both of those wires. You see, I push it up really, really firmly before I start doing anything, and then we're going to take the wire around the middle wires like this, and you're just going to wrap that up until you think that's where the anchor bit should end. So it's probably around a centimetre. It depends on the size. If you're doing a really big one, you'll want it longer, but you've got to try and bear in mind the proportions, and so you're just thinking about how far you need to go with that wrapping. And again, I've got one that I have done already that's attached to another one. So there we go. If I put that over there, we're not going to have that again. So you can see literally all I've done now, I have slightly bent these up.
Yeah.
And all I did with that was just take them and push my thumbnails there and bend it like that to get that little anchor shape. So what you're going to do now is at the end of your little weave, you're just going to again make a little 90-degree turn like so to start making the top of the anchor. Now you don't want it to come all the way over here. It's actually slightly shorter if you look at a picture. So we're going to just, again, using your thumb or your pliers, make a little bend so it's bending back on itself, and then when it reaches the middle here, we're going to again bend it upwards like so, and then do the same with the other side. See, it's quite, I think the initial part of any design is working out how you're going to do it. Now you can see that one was a little bit harder to bend, so what I do is I get my nylon jaw pliers in and I'll give it a bit of a squeeze. And the reason for using nose over needle nose or anything else is that you're not going to mark your wire. Yeah. And then we're just going to, again, I'm going to pop that up at a 45-degree angle, 90-degree angle even. 45 degrees isn't quite so acute.
I'm terrible with my my angles.
So you want that to. If it does kink, then you can just straighten it with your pliers. So what you're going to do with the shorter length here is you are going to take that shorter length around the longer length like this, and just take it around once or twice. It is a 0.8 or a 1 mil depending on the size. Make sure you push it up. If you're struggling to push it up because your nails are not very strong, I know that's something that a lot of people struggle with, then do just get your little chain nose pliers in there, and then just trim that off. So literally we're just going to trim and then take the time to squidge that, so you're not going to run your finger over it. You're going to attach a 0.4 in one of these little spaces. Okay. Round and round and round like before, Swarovski on the front, and then finish off on this side. Very, very simple. And to actually finish this design, you're just going to use your baling pliers or round nose pliers. I'm having interesting times with my words. I'm just going to hold it like that. I'm going to take this wire all the way around like so. And now what I'm going to do to seal the deal, because you need to make that into kind of a bail situation. So I'm going to grip it with my nylon pliers, bring that wire around, and I'm going to use it as the decorative bit that you often see on an emblem, don't you?
Yeah, it's like the rope, isn't it? I think,
yes, the rope that comes around. It's up to you how you finish that off. If you wanted to do a swirl at the end, but what I actually did was I took it all the way around to the end of a paddle, like so. I love our 0.8, it's so beautifully soft. And then I just cut it behind and squidged it up like that. And then, because you want to make sure that it's not going to actually injure anyone, squidge it up like so. You see, I have a lot of weaving wire here from there. Now, you can either just use the weaving wire to put the crystal on and then weave that, or you can attach the 0.4 and go all the way across. So it all depends on what you want to do. So they have a beautiful
How fabulous is
little
that?
anchor.
Do you know what, you did that so quickly as well.
Well,
Sammi, that's
it's because I had stages as well,
of
and again,
course.
initially working out how you're going to do it, and how you're going to do something that you can teach as well.
Definitely. I think you could just make lots of those and kind of have them as charms, because I think it's very, very popular charm choice, the anchor, isn't it?
And a lot of us do charity events, so if you're doing it for lifeboats and if you're doing it for things like that, it's a nice thing to be able to do.
That's fabulous.
And people, you know, guys like them, and as well as ladies. So.
And of course you can do that any size you like, for pendants, bracelets, anything.
Yeah.
We did see you use the nylon jewel pliers there, Sammi. I do have the nylon jewel pliers for you here. These are brilliant, you know. If you've got any of your coated wires, so it doesn't take any of that coating off, or with 925, you know, where you don't want to put any little dinks or dents or marks onto that wire, this is where nylon jewel pliers are fantastic. Also, if you've just got a little bit of kinked wire, if you like, you know, just to condition that wire, just to straighten that wire out, as Sammi is going to demonstrate for us now.
I do. I mean, I've got a piece of wire here that obviously where I've been gripping it, and when you're gripping it and turning it, you get a little bit of a bend in it. So all you do is just run your pliers over, like so. It takes a couple of goes. And then you can just straighten it out. You can use your fingers and you can use your pliers just to finish it off. She says, I'm trying to hold on to it so I can straighten it, but there you go.
Yeah.
They're
perfect for that. And then, you know, you're not going to take any of the coating off. And that's, you know, for some of us, you know, you might think, oh, I can't use that wire anymore. I'm going to have to, you know, bin that piece. Don't bin it. Save it. Get your nylon jewel pliers so that you can recondition that wire, and then you'll be good to go and you can use it.
They're an essential wire working. They are an absolute essential for things like spirals and everything. Yeah. So you'll make a little round, and then you use the nylon jewel pliers to roll it in, so you don't have those unsightly dinks in the top of it. If you do get the dinks in the top of it because you've accidentally used your needle nose pliers or your chain nose, then just hammer it. Yeah. And then you're texturing it, but we don't always want the texture. You want that beautiful smoothness to it.
Yeah, they're perfect for that, aren't they? Do you know what? £4.95 for an essential tool. That is fantastic. And even regular viewers here at Jewellery Maker will know that actually you're probably onto your third pair by now. You know, you do get through them, but also, you know, you can multi-buy. So one for your craft bag, one for your workbench. You know, if you're teaching as well at £4.95, if you need to multi-buy, that is a fantastic price tag you've got there. XVGX10 is your code for those. 0800 644 655. I've got a necklace bag here. Now, for those of you that are going on your holly bobs, week today, Sammi.
Are you? Oh, that's so cool.
This is perfect. Absolutely perfect. But you know, any holidays you like, any luggage, you know, even just in your handbag, because it is so compact there, that's not going to take up any room at all in your handbag, your suitcase, hand luggage, whatever it is. But also, it's going to keep your necklaces nice and tidy, isn't it? It's going to stop them from getting tangled up with anything else. You know, it's going to protect the gemstones or crystals that you've got on that piece. They're perfect. And actually, you could get a few in there if you wanted to. 15 by 20 centimetres in size. But I'm thinking as well, Sammi, because obviously you know, you do sell your jewellery. Yeah. That might be, you know, if you're selling a really high-end piece, you know, just to have, for the customer to have it in there so that they know it's been looked after while you've had it, and now that they can look after it. It is,
I mean, it's a really good way of storing your higher-end pieces when you're transporting them. Yeah. As well, that's really good for that. But also, a lot of people I know take stuff into work, or into their husband's work or wife's work, and so it's a nice way of being able to showcase. You open it out, and there you have. So, and it looks very professional when you're doing that, and that makes a big difference. Yeah. Looking professional, it gives people peace of mind, and they're more likely to purchase from you.
Definitely. You could embellish that as well. I'm thinking, you know, you could stick a cabochon on that if you wanted to, you know, entirely up to you. 15 by 20 centimetres, IEPO21 is your code for this, at £6.95. So the last 40 available today, so last stock. So make sure you're checking out. Not sure if we're going to have any more of these in, so it is now or never. 30-day money-back guarantee. Get this home, have a look at it for yourself. It feels quite high, you know, it's got great quality to it as well. You know, it's not something, you know, it's like the difference between your paper bag and your organza bag, if you like, as you were saying on your craft store. It can make all the difference.
It really does, and that's actually cheaper than some of the high-end boxes you're going to spend.
Oh, yes.
So,
Deb in the West Midlands says, wow, Sammi, absolutely gorgeous, loving the kit, had to have it.
I'm not
Great demo.
surprised.
Do you know what? That kit, it just shocks me. It really shocks me, these prices. $17.95, and you can make all of this jewellery.
You've got 100 metres of the wire. You've got 100 metres of wrapping wire in that for $17.95 with everything else.
Yeah.
No.
Still some left. If you do want to check that out, have a look on the website. See if there's anything available from the show so far. Actually, sorry, Phil. What was that? Oh, 925 sterling silver charm. Just going to give this a little wipe. There's a lot of silver. There's a big fingerprint on this one. Have a look at this. We had lots of kind of these geometric shapes, didn't we? A couple of weeks ago. Only 14 chances. There is a lot of silver in that. I'm thinking just that by itself on a chain would look gorgeous.
It is, isn't it gorgeous?
Yeah.
Or maybe just one pearl in that round bit there.
Wow.
You could put somebody's initials on that, or you could engrave a picture on it if you had the engraver that we did. But I think it's gorgeous on its own.
Isn't it just? Really is. Silver is the most lustrous of all of your precious metals. So even if you're not using any gemstones at all, you've still got an incredible amount of luster coming from this charm here. You can add that to a bracelet. You could pop that onto a chain and have that as a necklace. You could multi-buy and have the earrings and the matching necklace if you wanted to. You've got over 2 grams of 925 sterling silver there. That's enough silver to make a ring. UMPK23 is your code for this one at just £6.95 here today. As Sammi said, you can really personalise that as well. You know, if you've got your mini stamping kit, there's no reason why you can't put a significant date on there or initials on there if you wanted to, and really personalise that. Or birthstones maybe, if you've got, a gemstone, kind of like a 4mm gemstone that you could just kind of wrap into the centre there and go down the birthstone route maybe with that one. That's fantastic at £6.95 for that much silver. 11 chances is all we have left. Multi-buyers as well. That means that quantity is going to fall much quicker than it normally would. 0800 644 655. Webbers, make sure you check it out as soon as you can. In fact, there are more in baskets right now than we have quantity available. So it's fastest, fingers first, and there's lots of you coming through on the phone lines for this one as well. UMPK23 925. That's going to add value to any of your designs for you as well. And at this price tag, with the prices of silver having gone up recently, our buying team gave us the heads up probably about a month ago now, before they went to India, that prices have gone up for silver. Maybe get them while you can. I tell you, £6.95 is incredible. Well done. Pretty much every person so far is multi-bought. Now, I mentioned beryl at the start of the show. Not one of our viewers, the gemstone. Start buy time. This strand of beryl. Do you know what? This is just, I think with gemstones, and certainly with value, the more carats you can fit into a single gemstone, if you're looking at kind of like for like, the higher that's going to come out on value, which is fantastic. But for me, there is something more delicate, there is something more feminine about those smaller gemstones. Whatever it is, I say it quite often about pearls. When we have kind of the 4x5mm pearls, for adding attention to detail, there is something more feminine about gemstones of this size. Now, I've never seen this strand before. In fact, none of us have seen this strand before. Brand new strand of your multicoloured beryl. Now, if you're not already aware, the beryl family consists of quite a few gemstones. So the green variety of beryl is what we know as emerald. The yellow variety of beryl is what we know as heliodor. The blue variety is what we know as aquamarine. And the pink variety is what we know to be morganite. Looking at this strand, there are a lot of aquamarine and an absolutely astonishing amount of morganites in this strand. In fact, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give it a measure and then I'm going to cut it if I can. Yes. Shock. We are looking at approximately 39 centimetres in this particular strand that I have here. Now, Wes, thanks Wes, little star. I'm just going to cut this out. Do you know what? I just want to have a look at the sheer amount of morganite that you have in this strand. Now, 4mm rounds. I mean, my gosh, any medium that you work in. Any medium that you work in. And these would be great, wouldn't they? Now, I've just taken half of the strand off. I'm going to take all of the pink gemstones, which are morganites. And do you know what? We've had this discussion quite a few times in the office because I said, well, why is it called multicoloured beryl? Why is it not called morganite and aquamarine? Because, you know, surely, you know, what we know to be morganite and aquamarine, they're two gemstones that can command very large price tags elsewhere. Should we not be kind of doing that, you know? But the only reason that we could come up with, perhaps, was that there are greens in here that don't quite make the emerald, if you like. So that's why we're calling it multicoloured beryl. Look, that is half of the strand, not even. And I have, I mean, the aquamarine is so blue, so blue. And the amount of morganite that I have already, there's some gorgeous greens in this, you know. There's two more pinks there. Just look at all of those. There's a blue, there's a green, that one's a bit in between. I mean, look at those. Look at all of that morganite that I have there. I'm going to tip these up without them. Oh. Look at Phil, the panic in Phil's voice. Don't do it. They're going to fall off. They're going to fall off. But look at all of that morganite that you've got there. You know, I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. There's a good 25 gemstones there. And that is just a fraction of the strand that I have. Now, I was explaining yesterday that actually morganite, it's one of those gemstones that everybody is struggling to get hold of at the moment. There are some huge jewellery designers out there that use morganite in their designs, and on a recent research morning that I had, I went onto actually 2 designer websites, and you know what? When I typed in morganite in the search bar, it said no results found. It is a gemstone that we're struggling to get hold of, but I think because this is, if you like, a multi-beryl strand that we have here, it's kind of slipping through the net, if you like, this morganite. You know, it's kind of, you know, not accounted for, if you like. So this is a great opportunity to be able to get morganite into your stash. But look at the colour of those aquamarine you've got there as well. Oh my, they are unbelievable. £9.95. You've got 30 carats in total. 30 carat, massive, massive carat weight there. 4mm rounds. Now, if I count out what I've got here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, is probably another 20, 50. So I'm going to go with approximately 80 gemstones on this strand. What would you do with yours, Sammi, do you think?
I love them. Again, it's one of those multicolour strands. Yeah. So it's a simple restrand and put a clasp on, as far as I'm concerned. Because it's one of those where the work's done for you. Yeah. It really is. I love like the pastel shades you get, and again, it fascinates me that you can just come across that like in the ground. Those colours, amazing.
They're stunning, aren't they? Can you imagine this with some jadeite maybe? Now I think was it yesterday? I had 4mm jadeite. Was it today? Oh my gosh, it's today. Karen in Ohio, you've got 2. Well done. It would look phenomenal, wouldn't it?
Little sterling charm, or the if you use the floral thing we had on at the beginning, I get a few of them, and then you could use it with the floral thing. I'm doing that because I want it in my hair. Yeah, with the floral, like almost like a hair slide, but incredibly high end.
It really would look. And if you've seen the prices for aquamarine on the high street here in the UK, for what you have here, just for the aquamarine alone at £9.95 is incredible value. Do you know that 30-day money-back guarantee? It's there for your peace of mind, but also, do you know what else you can do in that 30 days? You can go and have a look anywhere else and see if you can get anywhere near to what we do here for quality, carat weights and prices. We won't be beaten. We will not. QMPO, what we even beat ourselves on the website, don't we? We do. QMPO18, Belinda in London, Adelaine in Moray, well done. Irene in Renfrewshire, Barbara, well done in Gloucestershire, Karen in Ohio, ×2, Pauline in Greater Manchester, you've got 2, Teresa in Bristol, you've got 2, Sharon in Denbighshire, Nagat in Surrey, Belinda in Buckinghamshire, you've got 2, Angela in Cornwall, you've got 2, Lady Anthea in Yorkshire, Richard Collector in Surrey, Sally in Yorkshire's got 3, Dealey in Kent. There are about 15 in baskets right now. This is close to selling out. You got any personal shoppers watching today, Sammi?
I have. Well, Alison is on her boat.
Oh, is she watching on the boat?
She is. So she's tried. Hopefully, has a signal, so she'll be there.
Do you know
for
what?
me.
I can see her now. I can see her now. John driving the boat. Alison there on a deck chair, feet up, phone in hand. Don't speak, John. Don't speak. I'm watching Jewellery Maker. You can just imagine it, can't you?
Yeah.
I'll tell you. QMPO18, well done. If you've managed to get those, gorgeous. Right. Oh, now. Look at these. Oh, sparkle, sparkle. Oh, Phil gave me a choice in my ear then, and he says, you're so predictable. Every time. Look at these though. I mean, how could I not? The labradorescence from these, just stunning. And you wouldn't always necessarily expect to see that in a gemstone of this kind of size. 3 by 1 millimeters in size. But do you know what? The quality is there. You do have that phenomenal, phenomenal labradorescence. Now, it is all about the angle in which the light hits the gemstone to enable you to see. You can see there, just as I'm turning it at some angles, when the light catches it, they just twinkle beautifully. Those blues and those greens that you are seeing, completely natural. That is the work of Mother Nature right there. So many of you have this gemstone in your stash already. It was voted your favourite 3 years running here at Jewellery Maker. It was only just pipped to the post last year by Tanzanite, in fact. I wonder what it'll be this year. Interesting. I love to see the same gemstone, different shapes, different sizes, all used together in the same design. I think it looks fantastic. Gemstones of this size, brilliant for creating that attention to detail in your designs. They're also great for any medium as well that you're working in, aren't they?
They are. They're great for accents.
Yeah.
So you can use, like you say, use them with anything. So they're great with sheet metal. They're great with polymer clay.
Yeah.
They're perfect for wire work. I love to do quite big ornate pieces and then have those around one of the swirls, so I'll weave it onto maybe a 2 mil that I've used in a swirl or something, some big collars and stuff like that. I absolutely use them as accents on cabochons.
Yeah.
So anywhere where you're adding in a wire during a weave, if you put a little accent bead over the top of it, it hides any joins. So it's absolutely perfect for that too.
Yeah.
So you can, I use them constantly.
Wow.
Constantly. And labradorite is amazing for it because of the sparkle and the colour change.
Yeah. It would totally just hold your focus on that labradorescence, wouldn't it? Hide anything else. £4.95 we're down to. That's a 30 centimetre strand that you've got there. 30 centimetres for 24 carats of your labradorite. There is no compromise on quality. You can see yourself there, you know, the labradorescence, that is textbook. And you have, I'm going to go with a good 100 gemstones on this strand, easily. Loads of you coming through today. Do you know what? You can add this to your order, no extra cost on your postage and packaging. $4.95 is phenomenal, phenomenal value. That works out to pennies per carat. Wow. QHND58 is your code for this one. Anne in Lanarkshire, well done. Helena in County Tyrone. You've got 2. Collector in Greater Manchester. Virginia, Jacqueline, Irina. Irene in Renfrewshire. Collector Joe in Greater London. Susan in Somerset, you've got yours as well. Barbara in Gloucestershire, you've just joined me. Congratulations to you. It could be simply restranding these, you know, delicate bracelet. I love that design, I do. And just adding maybe the 95 sterling silver charm that we've just had, that kind of geometric shape that we had, just adding that in there as well. Looks so pretty, but it's a great gemstone for the gents as well, I think. Teresa in Bristol says, I like a very simple jewellery, especially if I can just add a clasp and restrand. So I'm having it. Do you know what? That's brilliant, isn't it? And it is, it's really, really great when you can just do that with something. Just add your clasp in there, you know, you're going to have a beautiful impact look, because that's what you're going to get from labradorite every single time, aren't you? Let's face it. At £4.95. Phenomenal. Right, peacock pearls. Ooh. Do you know, to be fair, Phil just said, I haven't seen these for quite a while. Peacock pearls, but I did see. I tuned in. It wasn't today, but it was the last time that Claire was on a morning show, Claire McDonald, and she'd got some in her kit, and they just looked fabulous. They were these kind of drops as well that you've got here. They are stunning. Now, your peacock culture pearls, very, very popular. That array of colour that you've got there means that actually you can put these with quite a few other gemstones, you know. I think generally, a lot of the time we tend to stick to pearls with pearls, so it might be like these with your white pearls, but because of that iridescence and that pearlescence that you've got with this gemstone, they lend themselves to working beautifully with the things like, you know, peridot, the greens, blue apatite you could put in there. I mean, look at those stunning colours you've got. They've even got reds coming through on some of those as well. Pinks, purples, violets, blues, greens. You've got your freshwater peacock culture pearls. Flat coins, 9 to 10 millimetres in size. Just one of those in a ring, Sammi, I think would look so pretty.
It would. You can do anything with those, and because of the gorgeous lustre of them, they make amazing earrings as well.
Yeah, of course.
So you can have the whole suite. You'd need one for the ring, two for the earrings, and then the rest you can knot into a necklace. And buy another strand and get a bracelet as well.
Yeah, why not? The colour, the iridescence from those. The iridescence that I'm referring to, by the way, is the display of colour that you can see. So sometimes you will get that with white pearls. You get those gorgeous pinks and those greens. It's like a bubble, isn't it? When you look at a bubble, you see all those gorgeous colours, or when you see oil on the ground and you get all those gorgeous pinks and purples coming through. They are stunning. And do you know what? They're the real deal. They are the real deal. We all love a perfectly round pearl, those of you that love pearls, but there is something even more organic about an irregular shape in a pearl, you know, something more organic, and it tells us that this is the real deal. NKDP07 is your code for these. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, and it goes approximately 40 gemstones on that strand. At just £7.95 for you today. NKDP07. Get checking out as soon as you can for that one. Free telephone number, not going to cost you a single penny. Even if there's a tiny queue today, still not going to cost you a single penny to get involved, and take advantage of that one postage and packaging. Phenomenal. What would you put these with then, Sammi? What are the gemstones do you think you'd put with them?
They look really good. Well, like you see, you can put anything with them, but they look really good with abalone.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So if we're going nautical, we can go down the whole route. They do. They work well with so many different ones. They work well with spinel, they work well with topaz, they work well with everything. They're really good.
They're stunning. Do you know what? The surface lustre from these is just phenomenal as well. Silky like lustre you've got there. Look at that. That is perfection, isn't it? At just £7.95. I always think with strands like this, you know, just ask yourself at home, when we're looking at kind of value and what we do here at Jewellery Maker, just ask yourself what kind of price tag you at home would pop on a pair of earrings. So if you just took 2 of the gemstones, let's say there's approximately 40, so that's 20 pairs of earrings, what kind of price tag would you pop on 1 pair of earrings? Would you have your money back?
I always sell my pearl earrings at £20.
Do you? Oh,
Yeah,
do you know, I remember
silver,
saying, a lot of our guest designers always say with 925 it's a minimum of £20 no matter where they're selling. You see, £20 a pair, Sammi, that's a good money making strand for you, isn't it?
It is. It is, yeah. And earrings are our quickest money making strand because it's minimal effort. You're popping them on a head pin.
Yeah.
And you know, and then onto an earring finding, and that's it. And I used to feel awfully guilty about charging for earrings. And I used to, when I started, I would charge £1 a pair, and nobody would buy them because they thought they were all nickel or whatever. They weren't. They weren't. So I had to really up the prices, and now it's the same earrings, but people buy them.
Yeah. That's the thing, I think, when things are too low in price, you doubt their authenticity, but the quality, it makes you question quality as well, I think, when things are too low in price.
But we've all done it. We go to a shop and there's like 2 or 3 things that and you want to buy, and there's 2 or 3 different varieties, and you think, well, that one's really cheap, there must be something wrong with it.
Yeah.
It won't. So you either go for the middle one or the higher one. And it tends to be how we operate, because we think, oh, it's a bit cheap, it's going to fall apart.
Absolutely.
And it comes the same to the jewellery. If it's under £20 for a pair of pearls, then they're probably not going to think they're real. I've had them questioned at £20 as to whether they're real.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? It's the price tags that they command elsewhere, I guess. Wendy in Greater London, you've just got 5.
Yeah, liking your work, Wendy.
High 5. Yeah. Well done if you managed to get those. Now, coming up for you after the break, I've got loads of treats. I've got that topaz coming up for you. You're going to absolutely love that. Don't go anywhere, and I'll be back with you in just a couple of minutes' time.
If for any reason you're not satisfied with your purchase, you have the benefit of our no-quibble 30-day money-back guarantee. Just complete the returns form enclosed with your goods and send them back for a full refund.
Peridot is a member of the olivine family. This spring green gemstone is also the birthstone for August. It's a really interesting gemstone in the fact that when the light rays are split between this gemstone, you can see the resulting effect by eye. You often see doubling of back facets within this gemstone due to the high birefringence. One identifying feature of this gemstone is it often contains chromite inclusions. These chromite inclusions interfere with the structure of the gemstone and create wonderful lily pad inclusions within the stone itself.
If you have a question or a query for Jewellery Maker, then you can contact our call centre on 0800 644 655 and press option 2, or alternatively you can email help@jewellerymaker.com.
Make sure you tune in this weekend for our Summer Fate weekend. On Saturday we're joined by the amazingly talented Linda Brummel, who's had 2 kits to work with, one with emerald and shell and the other one with genuine freshwater cultured pearls and pink opal. We've also got coming up on Saturday as our deal of the day the amazing Jewellery Maker shopping trolley bag. It's absolutely incredible. It's going to be our deal of the day on Saturday at 11 AM. Make sure you tune in. See you then. Fantastic. So I can keep this one, Adam, yeah?
No.
I'll take this one home.
No, we need this for the show.
You need, no, I'm going to take this one home, thank you. Let go.
Let go.
Let go! Give it to me! Give it!
What is she doing? I've got no idea.
I want my trolley too. I'm making sure I get mine too. If Carol's got one, I want one. Star by for you. This topaz strand. Oh, it's spark. Do you know, if you love sparkle, you're going to absolutely love this strand. It is so beautiful. Now, topaz is a gemstone that I talk about quite often because, along with aquamarine on the high street here in the UK, it's really quite high in price, I think. It's one of those that always stands out to me as being shockingly high in price. You know, you see quite often your kind of Swiss blue topaz, your sky blue topaz. Very occasionally you might see your London blue and your white topaz. And it always seems to be, you know, very, very highly priced, even when you're just looking at small carat weights. And I'm sure if you have a look on the high street too, you'll see that for yourself. Here at Jewellery Maker, topaz we don't have a massive amount, do we? You know, we don't kind of have it every show. We're lucky if we get any of the blue topaz. Sometimes we have the white topaz accenting in a 925 ring mount. Silver coloured coated topaz. I've never had this before. Never seen this strand before. It is so sparkly. Really, really eye-catching. Look at that colour and sparkle that you've got there. Now these gemstones, as we were saying before about gemstones of this kind of size, to create attention to detail in pieces, these are just perfect. For me personally, you know, anything with attention to detail, it makes me have a closer look. Does anyone else think they look like the silver the nugget diamonds that we have? You know, the silver coloured diamonds. I'm just looking at those there thinking, wow, they look like the diamonds. If I am looking at jewellery, or, you know, I'm at a craft fair or in a jeweller's, wherever, and I see something with attention to detail, it makes me want to pick up that piece of jewellery, and it makes me want to have a closer look. You know, if you see, perhaps for example, say I've got one of Sammi's designs on a necklace bust here for the whole of the show, I guarantee that, you know, there would be so many texts from people coming in saying, what is that? What is that on the necklace bust there? Because you just want to have a close look, because you can't quite see it. You know, if it's something with attention to detail, it kind of has the same effect, doesn't it? You know, it makes you want to pick it up. It makes you want to have a closer look. So I always think it's great to have attention to detail in your designs. But we were talking about this strand earlier and how this would work, you know, in different mediums, not just, you know, in your wire work, with weaving and creating that attention to detail. But do you know what? We said earlier on that this in resin, I think, would look phenomenal. If you just dropped some of these, you know, into your clear resin and kind of had that set into a bezel, it would look phenomenal.
It would look like you've trapped diamonds in there with all the sparkle, because resin enhances the sparkle. And topaz is singularly one of the most sparkly things that we have. Which is why every time we have the white topaz, I've never seen that one, so I'm going to get a couple of those as well. But I always get a lot of them. I absolutely adore them. You can use them on their own as space beads as well. So even like with pearls, if you had a pearl, and if you're not keen on knotting, because I know some of us have got dexterity problems and the knotting is an issue, then just put a little white topaz in between each pearl on beading thread, and what you have is something that's incredibly beautiful, incredibly high-end, incredibly sparkly, but without the effort of knotting.
Can you imagine how pretty that would look? I mean,
amazing.
That's, you know, you say using them as spaces, you just pop, you know, these in between anything else, you're just going to have the most incredible sparkle. Now, Sammi, where do you think we would be going on price for something like this?
I think you'd be going $24.95.
Do you know, that's exactly the price tag that I had in my head. Exactly the price tag that I have in my head right now. How about $12.95 instead? Our Phil says.
Oh my word.
Oh no. Reaction cam.
No, he's not. Oh my gosh. You get to see my ear for a minute. Oh, no way. That is, I can't believe that. I'll have two, Alison. Well, three, I think, at that price. That is just, I can't believe that.
£8
But they're tiny micro-faceted.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you might look at gemstones of this size and think, yeah, well, you know, £8.95, brilliant. The time that goes into faceting a strand like this is unbelievable. Hours and hours and hours and hours. I can't see Alison's name on the screen right now. Perhaps she's been the actual sailor on the boat and driving at this moment in time. You never know.
Might not have signal. She might be in a lock.
Oh no! You've got to get this one home. It is just beautiful, just stunning. 0800 644 655. Carmel in Hampshire, Suzette in Morayshire, Collector in Greater London ×2, Wendy in Cambridgeshire, Irene in Renfrewshire, you've got two, Susan in Lanarkshire, you've got two, Virginia in Hampshire. I would be multi-buying too. 2, 3, as Sammi said, you know, you've got to take this opportunity, haven't you? You know, I've never seen this strand before. We might not see it again if it sells out today. And the sparkle that this is going to... I mean, can you imagine this in with some black spinel, multifaceted black spinel as well? That would just be like sensory overload, wouldn't it? I think my head would explode from the overwhelming sparkle. CQ ND61, Cynthia in County Down, Antoinette in Belfast. You know, as I'm looking at my call screen right now, I can see quantities going up as I speak. Some of you checking out one and then thinking, do you know what, I'm going to have two. And you can, because you've got one postage and packaging in any one day, midnight last night right through until midnight tonight. Imagine this in micro macrame, something like that.
But I still can't get over the price. That's a quartz price for topaz.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm always right. I told my husband that last night. He didn't believe me.
I love it. That's Sammi. Yeah, I'm always right. Get used to it. £8.95. CQ ND 61. Well done. Oh, Ryan. Ryan just said, isn't that just general marriage? The lady's always right.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
He's going to be happily married for a long time.
Yeah. you go far. You will, Ryan. Right, Xuron pliers. Sammy's got quite a collection over there at Xuron pliers. We used to use quite a few actually in your demo earlier on.
Yes.
It was you that introduced the Xuron range.
It was.
It not? Why was that, Sammi?
Because I absolutely love how they're completely ergonomic.
Yeah.
They're really, really easy on the hand. And I don't know, most people know that I've got various health issues.
Yeah.
So I do have chronic fatigue, like David texted in, and I have fibromyalgia. So I have a lot of muscle problems. So anything that I'm not having to fight when I'm working.
Yeah.
So it's just a gentle push, and there's hardly any resistance, but there's enough to know you've done it, and
Yeah.
it doesn't kick back.
Yeah.
Because you'll find with quite a lot of pliers, you're fighting them, especially with the more basic ones. There's nothing wrong with them,
Yeah.
but it is a bit more fighty. They have this beautiful handle that also is very comfortable.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, with any chronic pain condition, you don't want to have pain when you're pushing something,
Yeah.
and that's exactly what this avoids for me. So it means I can work for longer, because pain is tiring in itself.
Yeah.
They're also, each individual set is so beautifully designed to do its job. I can't fault them. I went to Hannah and I said, look, this is what I use at home all the time when I'm creating these designs, so I need to be able to use them on air,
Yeah,
so that you know I can do it honestly.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what she's like. I brought all of mine in, and she said they're amazing. So
Yeah.
she got them in, which was
Fantastic.
great.
And we've had, all of the reviews that we've had about any of the Xuron range are just fantastic. You can go to FIFO, by the way, at any point and have a look at any reviews for any items. As Sammi was saying, they are fantastic. They're so comfortable to use, and they are made for the professional as well. With every single plier that you come in and you buy the Xuron range, the tips are always really, really fine on them. So it allows you to get into some very, very small, tight spaces if you need to, whether that be chainmail, whether that be some wire work that you need to get into, and perhaps just squish them down with these ones in particular. They would be great. You've got the short nose pliers on these. 14 chances is all we have at £14.95. Sammi, we've just heard, literally every guest designer say, once you started using them, you cannot go back.
Exactly. I mean, it's one of those things, you don't know how much you need it until you've had them.
Yeah.
And those are perfect, especially for the heavier gauge wires as well, because they're the shorter nose.
Yeah.
So you can get a little bit more. The needle nose are great for getting to
Yeah.
tiny places, but you can get into a heavy gauge wire and a chainmail piece.
Yeah.
You can get into a very small space and have a decent amount of leverage with that too.
Yeah.
So that each one has a specific purpose, but you can use them across the board as well. I just adore them. You've just got to try it. Try it.
Definitely. And you've still got your 30-day money-back guarantee as well. Well done, Lillian in Herefordshire. You've got yours, Wendy. You've got yours, Sandra, Elizabeth, Deborah. Congratulations. Gail, you're there as well. Inga, congratulations to you. Collector in Bedfordshire. Well done to you. Congratulations. Tracy in Lanarkshire, you've just joined me. Jacqueline in Cumbria. Suzette in Kent. Well done to you. You've got yours. We've only got 10 chances left. And as I said before, once you've tried them, you just won't go back. Time is money. We're always saying that as jewellery makers. And these allow you to do the job quickly, finish it to a professional high standard.
Yeah, you get a much better finish because you can get into better places, but more difficult places and completely finish your work off. It allows you to hide the ends of your wire a lot better than you could if you didn't have them, because you can actually tuck it up into tiny spaces and squidge it there, which is exactly what we need. I mean, they are completely designed for us, which is perfect.
Fantastic,
and they're also so cheap here.
Yeah.
I paid over £17 for mine elsewhere.
There you go.
So, you know.
Again, Jewellery Maker, coming up trumps there. Brilliant. Right, jadeite. Last chance jadeite. Is this the strand I had the other day, Phil? Because I remember saying that I'd never seen them this size before. Fantastic. Again, you know, we've seen the kind of 10mm, the 12mm jadeites, but these, oh, they're just fantastic. Great for delicate bracelets, great again for that attention to detail in your designs, and great for any medium. 4mm rounds you've got here of your jadeite. Do you know, any time we have this gemstone, it is on and it is gone. It's one of those that is very highly considered in the gem industry. If you look into the myth and the folklore and legend behind jadeite as well, which we can't speak too much about here at Jewellery Maker, but if you have a look on any search engine, you will find pages and pages and pages. It has been used for centuries, not just in jewellery but for medicinal purposes as well. You'll see jadeite in lots of carvings as well. You know, you tend to see in those crystal type shops that I talk about quite a lot. I've seen, you know, jadeite little Buddhas that have been carved out, you know, huge prices, huge. We saw our producer Kim, a couple of weeks ago, jadeite tea strainer on the internet, £1,600. For those of you that use tea leaves and have a spare £1,600 for a tea strainer. 50 carats of jadeite you've got here, your 4mm rounds, £17.95. It has that real calming, serene hue to it, jadeite, doesn't it?
It does. It's so beautiful. I mean, I used to live in Hong Kong.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I did pre-takeover. My dad was in the RAF, so we were based over there. And of course, you see all of the amazing jadeite, and jadeite is so valued over there. It is unbelievable. It's always set with that really rich gold, sort of 22 carat gold.
Wow.
And it's just amazing. The deep gold colour with that beautiful green. It's so highly prized. Just go and have a quick look on and shock yourself at the price of jadeite jewellery.
Oh, it's
seriously,
ridiculous,
it's worth a
isn't
look,
it? It's ridiculous. You'd almost think it was kind of like one of your big five. You know, it's that highly considered. It really is. £17.95. What you have here is fantastic. Collect it in Surrey, Laura in Midlothian, Joyce in Essex, Linda in Gloucestershire. You've got yours. Congratulations. Gail and Wendy, you've just joined me on the website there as well. Avril, you've got yours. Congratulations. AV, GP, 75. Belinda in Buckinghamshire, you've just joined me on the web as well. 30-day money back guarantee. Do you know, for me, Sammi, it's one of those that I don't really want to put with anything else. I just want to leave it by itself every time that I have it.
Yeah, I would definitely put it with gold.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It would really complement this, wouldn't it?
It would. It brings out, it just allows that beautiful, delicate colour to just completely shine.
Yeah. Do you know what? Get it home. 30-day money back guarantee. Linda in Gloucestershire, well done to you. Philippa, you've just joined me on the web as well in Leicestershire. Make sure you check it out as soon as you can. You're going to have it home in a couple of days' time, and then you've got 30 days to think about it. I wouldn't need 30 seconds. It's jadeite. If you've got any angelite in your stash, perhaps they would work well together. Me saying I wouldn't put it with anything else, actually angelite has just jumped to mind there, because you've got those soft serene hues. Right, do you know, Philip? Yes. Can we start by them? Because they are pretty spectacular. AAA graded Labradorite. Yes, please. There are so many Labradorite strands that we have here at Jewellery Maker. We say that, you know, it should be AAA, it should be AAA. We have started grading Labradorite here at Jewellery Maker, which is fantastic because, I mean, the quality. I always remember 18 months ago, maybe 2 years ago, being in the office over at the Old Towers. And I always say overhearing a conversation. I wasn't overhearing, I was totally listening to the conversation. I was proper eavesdropping, I tell you. And I heard one of the managers say to someone else, "You should see the quality of Labradorite that we've got coming in." And you know, I just thought, it cannot get any better than it already is, because it was already spectacular at that moment in time. I was so wrong. So wrong. Triple A graded labradorite. Now with your AAA grade, every single gemstone has to have that magnificent labradorescence, and you know what? Every single one of them right here on this strand does absolutely that as well. 37 centimetre strand of AAA graded labradorite. It is all about the angle in which the light catches the gemstone. That's why when you get movement with labradorite, it really showcases. I love that. Apple Phil just went, do you know what? That's the best strand of rounds I've ever seen in labradorite. And Director Ryan went, do you know what? That's pretty awesome. Do you know what? It really is, isn't it? I could quite happily stare at this for a couple of hours. You've got electric blues, greens, golden hues coming through. Each one is like a little planet, isn't it? 8mm rounds. Labradorite is one of those that, for me, because I love it so much, whatever design I put this into, I want to be able to see it, you know, because it, you know, it's so mesmerising. It's a very mystical gemstone. So I want to be able to see my labradorite. But I do always think labradorite works great in earrings, because it's about the angle in which the light catches the gemstone. So I always think as earrings it looks fabulous, but then of course I can't see my earrings, can I, unless I look in a mirror? So it's one of those. But I think with this shape, this size, it would totally be stretchy bracelets for me with this. And I would just look at it and I would not give it away. I would not sell it on. I would keep it for myself.
Well, do you know what? I'd get, if I want to do that with a strand, or with a strand like that, I so totally would. I would get two, because then the one pays for the other one.
Ah.
For me, because I'm in business, that's what happens. So, you know, I make the other one into jewellery.
Yeah.
And that pays for the one that I've had for myself.
Ah.
But what I would do is I'd give it to Mark Smith and get him to make a beautiful goddess bracelet out of it.
Wow.
Because I love what he does with the macrame, and it would look absolutely beautiful. As well as stretchies look great too.
Oh yeah.
Because it is one of those that it's such a gorgeous stone, you don't really need to do much to it, just let it speak for itself.
And it really does, doesn't it? In fact, it doesn't speak, it shouts, doesn't it? Labradorite is one of those. Lois in Florida says, I recently purchased this strand. Every gem on the strand is amazing. If you're thinking about getting these, don't hesitate, you won't be disappointed. And that, you know, that's a personal review, somebody that has previously bought this item as well. £17, look at that gold, that's like a light from within the gemstone, isn't it? That's phenomenal, just phenomenal. Just that one, you know, popping that one, Sammi, onto a head pin, perhaps then popping that onto a 925 sterling silver chain. How gorgeous would that look?
It would look absolutely amazing. They look like little beautiful sparkling planets, don't they?
Yeah. Every single one of them as well. They are spectacular. 0800 644 655 ZCOX83 is your code for this one. Well done if you've managed to get those. Stunning. Emeralds. My favourite gemstone in the whole world. These are gorgeous. The depth of colour is phenomenal. The graduation in this strand. I think with graduated strands like this, always very tempted to just leave it as it is. You know, someone has taken the time to graduate this strand beautifully and done a really fantastic job as well, I have to say. So I think for me, just restranding this necklace, 925 of course, for myself. Oh yes, check out the colour. You are looking at not just my favourite gemstone in the whole world, but my favourite location for this gemstone in the whole world. Now, there are many different locations. We bring you Brazilian emerald, we bring you Colombian emerald, and we bring you Zambian emerald. Now, Colombia can be some of the most sought after and fetch some of the highest prices. However, for me, it's always been about Zambian emerald and the colour that Zambia brings to us. Now, all of our Zambian emeralds come from the Gemfields mines. Now, if you've heard of Cole Fabergé, which I'm sure you have, Gemfields recently, well I say recently, I'm going back about probably 18 months, 2 years ago now, Gemfields actually bought Cole Fabergé. So if you go onto Cole Fabergé's website and you type in in particular, Zambian emeralds. You will be looking at emeralds that have come from exactly the same mines that this emerald has come from. And last time I did that, there were no prices on those Zambian emeralds. Just thought I'd throw that out there. You are looking at 35 carats of completely natural Zambian emerald. The reason it's my favourite gemstone is A, because that colour is so striking, and B, because you will never ever get two identical gemstones. Even if they are perfectly colour matched, they will never be identical. It's a gemstone that's known for its inclusion. It's Mother Nature's fingerprint. We're talking 50 million years plus in the making that you've got in those inclusions there. Mother Nature's fingerprint, one of the most precious gemstones on the planet, and we're bringing you 35 carats, 2x1 to 6x3 millimetres in size, 17 centimetre strand. Can you imagine? These are spacers with pearls. £16.95. Who else would bring you natural Zambian emeralds of this carat weight at that price tag? Who would do that? No, I can't think of anyone either. 0800 644 655. Those space, I mean, just to, well, I don't need to, look at the size of those pearls. They're ridiculous. Those are coming up for you a little bit later on. 0800 644 655 or on the website JewelleryMaker.com. If you don't have emerald in your stash yet, let this be the first strand that you buy. Imagine having natural Zambian emerald as the first ever strand of emerald, your first ever emerald purchase. Imagine having 35 carats of it. Imagine having 35 carats at £16.95. There's no need to imagine anymore, because you can do it. You can do it. £16.95 plus your postage and packaging. We are under £20. It's
an amazing Christmas gift.
Oh, yes, please, Sammi. Yes, please.
Make you a beautiful Zambian emerald bracelet for Christmas. Just gorgeous.
It's perfect, isn't it? And it's one of the most precious gemstones on the planet. And look at the price tag that we are at this afternoon. Well done if you've already checked this out. I've got multi-buyers on this one as well. Huge, huge well done. XKJN09, hold the lines. You know those pearls that I've just shown you? Stop on. These are huge, huge. 10 by 11 millimetres in size. Wow. Pearls are something that we see every day here at Jewellery Maker, pretty much every day. You know, we're really, really lucky, and that's down to our buying power and our buying team here at Jewellery Maker. That means, you know, we get great pearls at great prices. And because we see them so much here at Jewellery Maker, you might not think that they are particularly rare. However, bless you.
Sorry.
However, they are. When you think of a pearl that starts out, and we're talking about genuine pearls here, that starts out as a grain of sand, or, you know, a little bit of debris, if you like, within that mollusk. That mollusk then sprays a substance over that grain of sand or that piece of debris, and then over years and years and years, that will grow and that will form, and that's what will give us our pearls. Now, so many are grown, so many culture into something that is not of gemstone quality. So, you know, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. We could be talking kind of 1 in 100 that is gemstone quality, you know, every 5 in 100. We're looking at something very rare. So when I say gemstone quality, what we are looking for when that mollusk is interned is kind of roundness. Any kind of roundness there is fantastic. If it's not round, doesn't matter. If it's a regular shape, brilliant. Is it pearlescent? If you've got fabulous luster, fabulous pearlescent, then perhaps we'll start to take that roundness into consideration. So we're looking at these things, you know, the orient of the gemstone, the pearlescence, the size, the roundness, all of these factors that are taken into consideration. So obviously, you know, the more perfect that pearl is, the harder that has been to form, if you like. So the higher that price tag will be. We have lots of strands, and we're really lucky that we have strands that aren't perfectly round, because it means we have more leeway on price for you. But for me personally, I love the perfectly round pearls. Give me them all day, every day. But I also love that irregular shape. You know, that uniqueness that you have in every single pearl there. It tells me that these are the real deal, that they are genuine, not fake, not synthetic. There are so many. If you go out there and you have a look, you know, you can go into high street jewellers and you can see synthetic pearls, and you can see that they're synthetic because they are round. In fact, if you're not sure of the way to tell the difference between the two, if you're not familiar, Try getting yourself some synthetic pearls if you can, especially if you have a craft stall, so that you can educate your customer at the same time. Now, if you hold both strands, the synthetics and the genuine pearls, you will notice that with genuine pearls, they have a significant weight to them. Where when you're holding both of them, you can tell that with synthetics, they don't have quite the weight that genuine pearls do. If you rub them together as well, with genuine pearls, you get a gritty sensation with them as well. And again, you don't get that with the synthetics. You can also do that on your teeth. A lot of gem collectors do that on their teeth. I'll leave that entirely up to you if you want to do that. So that's the way of telling the difference between the two. Now, size-wise, we can definitely tick that box. They are 10 to 11 millimeters in size. They have pearlescence, they have a beautiful orient to them, and they've got the most incredible silky-like luster. They are also completely natural. 100% natural. A lot of pearls are bleached in the industry, nothing wrong with that. These, they're completely natural. £14.95. Sammi, if you were to pearl knot these, add your 925 clasp, what would I be looking at on your craft stall?
Minimum of £60.
Wow.
Minimum.
Yeah.
You can go up, because I mean my smaller Baroque strands are 60, so I'd probably go to 80 on those ones.
Wow.
But if you go and look on my guest designer page, I took a photo of a shop window, jeweller's shop window,
yeah,
and there was a strand of 6mm cultured pearls in there at £1,040 in Cheltenham, and the next to it, the 10 to 11.
Yeah.
So again, it's not all one.
Yeah, yeah.
They were £1,140.
Wow.
And they are cultured. So they're not your saltwater pearls, they are the same sorts of pearls that we're talking about at the moment. And it just blew me away. And I thought, you know what, I need a shop in Cheltenham.
That's phenomenal. And it's when you start to do that research that you really think, that we are lucky. We are so lucky here at Jewellery Maker. So please, any time that you can, you know, do your research. You know, make yourself familiar with prices elsewhere, because it's very easy to get complacent here at Jewellery Maker. Really easy to get complacent. To see perhaps a strand of pearls at $14.95, then maybe see another strand at $29.95 and think, oh, $29.95. That is so low compared to everywhere else on the high street. BC, GP, 35. Loads of you multi-buying. Collect it in Wiltshire, Weldon, Rosemary, and Devon. Wendy in Cambridgeshire's got 2. Collect it in Dunbartonshire. You've got 2. Tony in Essex. Collect it in Nottinghamshire. Joyce in Essex. Irene in Renfrewshire. Gail in Lincolnshire. You've got yours. Marilyn in Norfolk. Hilda in Yorkshire. Congratulations to you. Perhaps pearl knot these. Use your different coloured threading materials as well. You know, give it that contemporary twist on a modern classic. But you know, they are a timeless classic, aren't they? They will never date any age, any skin tone. These will look fab with your jeans and t-shirt. They're going to look fab with your little black dress or your sailor outfit.
Oh, I say they look good with this, wouldn't they?
They would, wouldn't they? Especially with the Swarovski crystal in there as well. BC, GP, 35. Linda in Surrey, Irene in Renfrewshire, Joyce, well done. You've got yours. Margaret in Tyne and Weir, Marilyn in Norfolk, congratulations. You've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. We're looking at approximately 40 pearls on that strand there. Approximately 40 pearls, that could be 20 pairs of earrings. If Sammi was going with her minimum of £20 for a pair of earrings, times that by 20, that's a lot of money, isn't it? All adds up, just. Mrs. N in Cumbria, you've just got 2, well done to you. Right. Oh, I've never seen this before. Do you know, this has instantly made me think, Ryan, handbags. Yeah. We were discussing handbags, weren't we, on the show? It didn't make me think of Ryan, it made me think of handbags. I was just saying Ryan was having the old, oh, women in handbags and women in shoes. This is because I'm thinking the strap on your handbag with this, because of that colour that you've got there. How fabulous is that? I've never ever seen this before. It's gorgeous. 5 metres of your violet aluminium alloy chain, 8 by 5 millimetres in size, those links are. So you could use your wire if you wanted to, and how good would that be with your coloured wire as well, you know, like your fuchsia pinks and stuff. You could use your wire in there as well. Phil's just mentioned the Deborah bag. Let's not go there. I can never get that off, you see, that's why. We're talking years ago now, that bag. Still haven't got over it. Was it last year? Feels like way longer than that. 5 metres of your violet chain. So you could use it. You could use it in the Deborah Styly handbag if you like, but also to embellish things with. So you know, if you want to do some kind of Gemma Crow designs with the body chain that she did on the dress, this colour in particular would work really, really well, wouldn't it? Loads of ways. Or you could just simply take that chain, just take a huge length just for yourself, and kind of layer that look up, because the layered look is very much on trend at the moment. That would look fabulous, wouldn't it? Really, really would. And I've done that. Do you know what? I probably haven't even got half. Probably haven't even got half there. Look at that. Let's go out on the town. 5 metres. Do you know, with just 1 metre, you could get 2 16-inch lengths for necklaces and a 7-inch length for a bracelet or an anklet if you wanted to, and that's just with 1 metre. So with 5 metres, you could get 10 necklaces and 5 bracelets or anklets if you wanted to, or you could just go for the layered up look. You could just have it on your craft store, couldn't you, Sammy? Sell it by the inch.
You could do, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Funky extended chains.
Oh, yeah. It's just that colour. That colour's fantastic.
Yes.
We're at £5.95. That works out to £1 something a metre. A metre. £1.20 a metre. Phenomenal, phenomenal value. And in fact, look at this one that I've got coming up as well. Oh, the two together. Gorgeous. EBPO45 is your code for this. Wendy in Cambridgeshire, Rosemary in Devon, Collector in Hampshire, you're there as well. Congratulations to you. 0800 644 655. Those colours are fabulous. I mean, think of the gemstones you could use with these as well to complement those colours.
Yeah, you could even do, it's kind of a tanzanite blue.
Yeah.
And then you've got an apatite blue in the other one. So it's just a beautiful colour. Be good for like headwear as well.
Yeah.
As well as, you know, hats or just the chain headwear, footwear when you're doing the fake sandals.
Wow.
That would be perfect for that, for the beach. And yeah.
Like you're thinking, Sammy. Love your thinking. £5.95. I'll bring you the teal coloured one for you now as well. I would be getting them both, I think. I think I'd mix them up together. You could kind of stitch them together, couldn't you, Sammy?
You could do. Twist them together, stitch them together, anything you wanted to.
Yeah. Oh, look at those. That looks fabulous. Oh, they work so well together. I'd have to get both. The teal, exactly the same. You've got 5 metres there. 5 metres of your light blue aluminium alloy chain. Links again 8 by 5 millimetres, so you can attach charms to those if you wanted to. Your jump rings, you could get your wire through there. You could weave your gemstones through there as well if you wanted to, or just use it as an embellishment. £5.95 for it, exactly the same. With your metre long length, 2 chains if you want to, 2 16-inch lengths of chain, a 7-inch bracelet or anklet. I love that. I'm thinking, you know, with the kids off school at the moment as well, there's some fabulous colours, isn't there? Festivals as well, festival season is pretty much upon us right now. There's quite a few festivals going on over the last few weeks and the forthcoming weeks. So I really, really like that. Just that little bit of splash of colour you've got in there. EYPO58, Wendy in Cambridgeshire, Jacqueline in Merseyside, Patricia in Greater London, Margaret in South Yorkshire, Belinda in Buckinghamshire, Rosemary in Devon, you've got yours, Gail, Wendy, congratulations, Lisa, you've just joined me, well done to you. 0800 644 655 at just £5.95. Add them to yours, you've still got your 30 days as well to think about this one. Goes with your nautical theme for the day. Oh, the Swarovski crystals that we had. Yes, that That would work really, really well with this chain, wouldn't it? EYPO58 is your code, please. Sandra Elizabeth, you've just got yours. Well done. Lillian, you're in. Congratulations. Anita, you've just joined me on the phone lines as well. EYPO58. I love those. Do you know what? I'd love to see the designs that you're doing with these as well. Enter them into the Wall of Fame. Why not? If you're making designs anyway, because you could be winning yourself £100 credited to your account, or £50 if you're the runner-up. So all you need to do is send in your designs that you're doing anyway. Brilliant. When was the last time we saw this? I'm just going to read that to the side because it looks like my head is on top of there. Do you know, in fact, the last time I saw this was actually out of Claire McDonald's craft bag because she was using it during a demo. Nope. No, I've never had this before. Phil just said, you know what, Hannah, you're the only one. I mean, you're the only person that has not had the bracelet mandrel before. This is fantastic, isn't it? I mean, I remember, you know, I've seen some guest designers here kind of getting out the, you know, the tub of cream to use as a mandrel, if you like. You know, just finding anything and anything that you can to kind of use as a mandrel. But this is fabulous, isn't it, Sammi? It's such a handy tool to have.
Yeah, I've got it. I've got one at home.
Yeah.
So it's quite lightweight enough that you can bring it with your bag.
Oh yeah,
too. So
really
it's
lightweight.
beautiful. It is kind of one of those must-have things.
Yeah.
For bracelets, it's not just for bracelets because you can make any kind of shape or curve around it. Don't have to just use it for bracelets, but it is perfect for it.
It is, isn't it? I mean, you can use, you know, your bare copper sheets on here as well, can't you? To make curves, to give you that curvature in your sheets or your wire if you want to. It is fab. And obviously, you've got that different size, that graduation throughout there. And because it's an oval as well, I'll show you the end there. Perfect, isn't it? Just perfect. DKGX75 is your code for this one. £9.95. Did you just say it's the first time this year? Oh, it's the first time since June, I beg your pardon. First time since June that we've had the bracelet mandrel for you. Add it to your order today, see how you get on. Joe, bracelets and cuffs are very much on trend at the moment as well, and I think it's a great way of adding any medium to. So say you've got, you know, a bare copper sheet and you're making a cuff, you can just simply glue a caboche onto that. Or you can, you know, weave some gemstones through it. You can wrap any of your fabrics around it or your leather if you want to. So it really does. It's one of those that across all mediums is going to be fantastic as well. £9.95 for you today. 0800 644 655 DKGX75. Collect it in Somerset, Lynn in Lincolnshire. Annie in East Sussex, collect it in Hampshire, collect it in Sussex. Diane, Eileen, Lisa in Aberdeenshire, collect it in Wiltshire. Mary in Surrey, congratulations to you. Gail, you're back in, well done. 0800 644 655. There's a little spider coming down from the ceiling.
Oh.
There he is. There's a lot of those. You know, I call them house spiders, but that's not technically what they're called. You know, the ones that are almost invisible and move very, very slowly with the really thin, long legs.
Oh,
they're almost like daddy long legs, but spiders. They don't fly. We've got a friend. What did you say, Phil? Sorry. Oh, right, okay. So Phil was just saying, do you know what? Alternative uses for Jewellery Maker tools. Let us know. 60777. Start message with the word JM Studio. Have you got any, Sammi?
Well, for that sort of thing, I mean, I use it for drying silver clay and things like that as well.
Yeah.
Which I know is actually still jewellery making.
Yeah.
But that's
But
kind
not
of my
as
life.
is intended. Yeah.
No, because you're leaving it shape, so you're
Yeah.
forming. You can. It's the same thing when you're using polymer clay and you want to make an interesting shape. It's nice to be able to kind of form it around that sort of thing too. People use our tools for all sorts of things.
I know,
though.
even just literally the handle on pliers for, you know, curvature in your wire again. But is there anything else that you use your tools for that we're not thinking of? 60777, start a message with the word J and Studio. Or alternatively, if you're watching on the web, there is a little box just below the live feed that says send message to Studio. Type your message in there, click send, and it will come straight through to our Phil as well. Well done.
My son did use my Zoron pliers to fix his bike chain. Obviously they withstood it because they're really good quality, but I wasn't that happy.
I can't say I would be either.
All over the handles, my spider senses were tingling. I thought, I know what's gone on here. Somebody had a broken chain. I've got oil all over my pliers. Did you use those? And he's like, yeah. Yes.
Goodness.
Alternative use and perfectly fine, but I was not that pleased.
Not recommend.
Yes.
Customer. It's funny how this is anonymous, isn't it? I use flush cutters on my toenails, hands so easy.
Oh, that's a good idea. I do use, I use these ones to pluck my eyebrows. If I can't find my tweezers, I use the needle nose pliers.
Where is this going? Oh my goodness me. Yeah, the tweezer thing, I can handle that one. It's the toenail thing. You once cut a muffin with side cutter pliers in the office. No, live on air. Side cutters cut a muffin. Well, you know, needs must. If you've got to share it, if you have to share, you know. Brilliant. Right. Safety pins, all the brooch pins. Love these. I think brooches for me always seems, because I always get mine out autumn winter, so I'm always one of those that wears a wrap or a pashmina in the autumn and winter months, and I love to have a brooch on there. And this is the great thing about being a jewellery maker, isn't it? You can just make so many, and you can completely transform that look every single day, depending on the style of brooch that you've made, that, you know, the gemstones that you're using with that, or polymer clay, whatever it may be. You could literally just stick a cabochon to one of these. Danielle Jessica says, my bracelet mandrel is also earmarked for self-defence in the event of a break-in. I'm only 5'3", need all the defence I can get at that height. Yeah, that did come up earlier on actually, when we were looking at that before we came on air. Yeah, I didn't want to say that, but if you, yeah, great idea. And 5'3" is not that short, really, is it? No. Your mum's 4'11". Yeah. That's Kylie Minogue's 4'11", apparently.
So am I.
Just a little bit of knowledge there for your mum, Phil. She's the same height as Kylie.
And me.
Are you 4'11" as well?
Yeah, well, between 4'10" and 4'11". I just wish I was as thin as Kylie. That'd be nice.
Oh, Sammi. You're lovely. More talented than Kylie, Phil says. You're more talented.
Oh, my husband would disagree, but I don't know quite what talents he likes about Kylie. I'm not sure it's the voice.
Yeah. Sorry, Kylie, if you're watching. Silver plated safety pins you've got here. Do you know what the great thing about this is the size of the stash? You've got 50 in total. Now I know I spoke about this last time I had them, because you can make your own wire work safety pins if you want, you know, and it's quite easy to do. But the time that it takes, you know, it's quite time consuming. Also, when we're making our own, we don't get the safety catch on there, do we? We don't get that safety device on our own as well. I've got 50 here for £4.95. Imagine how long it would take you to make 50 of them. £4.95, I know exactly what I would rather do. So you could literally just glue a cabochon to that simple. If that's what you want to do, no problem at all. You could use some backing fabric on there as well, and you could sew onto that if you wanted to. You could weave through that with your wire and just make the most I mean, you could take it wherever you want. Any gemstones, again, could be polymer clay, couldn't it? Beautiful polymer clay design that you've made that you could pop onto that as well and have that as your pendant. Gorgeous flower, you know, floral designs with your wire mesh and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a dress that I absolutely have to have something that pins it across here. So I make a beautiful, depending what I'm accessorising, what shoes I'm wearing, I have a different pin to go with that. So yeah, it's a little bit too, I'm not quite comfortable with how revealing it is, so I pin it. But then you have I make a like flower, you make one out of mesh or wire, or you can make gemstones, anything. But yeah, so those are really good. I also made a brooch, and I made my own brooch back, and it took me ages and ages and ages to get it just right. And I put it out obviously with all my stuff, and a lady came along and she said, oh, I love that, can you make it into a pendant for me? And I did this face, and I wanted to do this face.
Oh no.
But yeah, I was like Yeah, sure.
Dear. No problem.
So it's much easier if you've got one ready-made.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely. I think these are great as well. You know, if you're somebody that wears like thinner scarves, so like your silk scarves as opposed to like your chunky winter ones, they work fantastic, don't they? If you just have them and pop them through, almost like are they called tie pins? What are they called now? Do you know what I mean? You know, like men have with their ties. It's almost like that, isn't it? You know, and you put your scarf through that, and it kind of holds it in place. But also, it's adding to that as well, isn't it? With you know, your gemstones or whatever design it is that you're making. $4.95, multi-buyers. Well done, fabulous. Sandbag. Oh, I'm loving all the. Phil's been in. Oh, I don't know what cupboard he's been in, but it's stuff that we've not had for an absolute age. The sandbag. Yeah, Sammi, you must use this all the time.
Yes, I do.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
It's really, really good. It's very good for obviously sheet metal work, which is what I use it for. I make little leaves. So when you're using quite a thin bit of sheet, and a chisel down the middle, you don't want to do it against a hard surface because you want to make that curve and you don't want to actually cut through the metal. So it's really, really good for shaping and having that resistance without damaging the back of it, if you see what I mean. Because when you're hammering against your anvil, which you do sometimes, you're always going to texture the back of your sheet. Whereas you're doing it on the sandbag, you're not. So it's a very, very important tool.
It's fantastic, isn't it? And also, you know, if you are, you know, doing any kind of work hardening or stamping or anything like that, it works as a shock absorber, if you like, as well, doesn't it? You know, if you've got that underneath your steel block, it's going to absorb some of that shock
and noise.
Yeah, noise as well. In fact, we could hear them hammering in the workshop earlier on. Hayley Kruger's got a workshop going on in there today. You know, so it helps with that as well. You know, if you're working on a surface, this here is perfect. I wouldn't recommend it because you could quite easily crack it. But for those, you know, those surfaces that you do need to be a little bit more careful with, it's great for that because it does act as that shock absorber, if you like. FAGX30 is your code for this. £3.95. £3.95.
Wow.
That's phenomenal, isn't it?
That's incredible. So if you want to go and have a look at how much you'll pay for a sandbag other places, and quite often be aware that if you do buy a sandbag from somewhere else, it comes without any sand in it. So yeah, I know, and it'll come. You just get this flat bit of leather that you've then got, and I'm like, what?
Deflated bit of leather.
Yeah, I don't want to. That's effort. I don't want to have to put in there. So do be aware of that when you're buying them.
Yeah.
So I'd get it from here. It usually sells out as soon as we have it, to be honest, here because of the price. Yeah, they're quite expensive.
Do you know Phil's just found one for £17.99?
Yeah, exactly. They are expensive. I'm not fibbing.
The lowest he's found on an auction website, £7.50. £3.95. Brilliant. Loads of you coming in. Do you know what? We've only got 99 in the building. That's all we have. All we have. And actually, can you imagine as well, you know, if you did buy something like this on an auction website, sometimes they do free postage, don't they? But if they're sending it kind of Royal Mail, it's where you have to pop it on the scales, and that's actually quite heavy. I wouldn't imagine that the postage on that would be that affordable, because it really is weighty. FAGX30. Jane in Nottinghamshire, Tracy and Colin, Patricia in Cambridgeshire, Collector in Greater Manchester, well done. Wilhelmina in London, Bev in West Yorkshire, Sue, Vera, Kathy, Antonia, Pat, well done, Jane, Vivian, Karen, Jane in Nottinghamshire, you've just joined me. Collector in Staffordshire, Collector in Yorkshire, Collector in County Durham, Collector in Greater London, Collector in the West Midlands. My goodness me, £3.95. That's an added to your order price tag, isn't it?
It really is. I mean, for £3.95, it's something. If you think you're going to go and do a little bit of sheet metal, or you're going to do some hammering of wire, what have you, £3.95, you don't mind putting that in your basket and having a go at some point.
Yeah.
You know, £17.99, you're not going to do that. And that's kind of a prohibitive price, really, to have it's not a have a go price, is it? So, yeah, definitely go for it.
Fantastic. FAGX30, alternate uses. Tanya in Pembrokeshire says, hi ladies, I use my sandbag to stop the door from slamming on grandson's fingers. Yes, door stop right there with the weight of that. That's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Fantastic. Thanks for that, Tanya in Pembrokeshire. Yes, see, not just jewellery making. 0800 644 655. Lots of you there. Quite a few in baskets right now at £3.95. I mean, as Sammi said, you know, you can't not, can you? Be rude not to, in fact, at £3.95. Well done if you've managed to check that out already. Do you know, I have got a couple of multi-buyers as well. I think people are now thinking, do you know what? That's the lowest priced doorstop I've ever seen. I'm going to get one for a doorstop as well.
Well, I think if people are doing workshops as well, when we do the tools really, it's a good tip, this one. When you do the tools really cheap, I'd get quite a few, because then you can offer them to your clients at workshops. And then that's quite a lot of us do that.
Yeah.
So we say you can buy the toolkit, or you can buy the tools at the end of the day. And of course, it doesn't cost us much to replace them, because they're so good here. Yeah. So it's a good way of doing it.
That's a handy little tip, isn't it? Very handy tip. Another message. It's on its way. Hi all, I use the Handy Andy to hold the end of my bracelets in order to fasten them. Oh yes! That's kind of yeah, I get that, because you do need an extra pair of hands, don't you, when it comes to bracelets? Otherwise you just chase in the end. I do that quite often, like a dog chasing its tail, trying to fasten it. Yeah. Right. Fancy Jasper cabochons. These are lovely. Do you know what? Fancy Jasper cabochons of this size, they're just perfect for rings. Never ever been seen before. They are brand new. 20 carats in total you've got there. So you're looking on average of 6 point something carats per cabochon there. 18 by 13 millimeters in size, and you are guaranteed to get 3 pieces as well. 3 pieces of that size as well. That green hue, that's a real earthy tone that you've got there, hasn't it? Really earthy. Do you know what? They're going to work well with any coloured finding, any coloured wire that you have in your stash. My preference is always kind of silver. It's always my go-to. But actually with these, I'm thinking if you've got any bare copper. Do you know what? They're brand new. Did somebody say clearance? How much would you sell one of those for, Sammi, do you think, if you wire wrapped that into a ring?
It depends on the ring.
Yeah.
Because obviously a wire wrap ring can be quite a difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
So you can put quite a few hours in it. So my wire wrap rings for a cabochon start at a minimum of 20 for a simple design.
Okay.
And they go right up to whatever. I mean, for a higher end one, I would use bare copper or sterling silver, and then you're looking at £60 plus.
Yeah.
So it all depends.
And these haven't even cost you £1 each. Not even £1 each. Isn't that crazy? I mean, if you work that out per carat, that is pretty low. And I do, of course, I do have loads of you multi-buy. I mean, having 3 there, that's a sweet, you know?
Yeah.
You've got the pendant, the cuff, and the ring if you want, or you've got the earrings and the pendant if you like. I'll be multi-buying as well. Melanie in Yorkshire's got 2. Delia in Kent, you've got 2. Kathy, well done. Triaris, you've got yours. Jacqueline in Merseyside, Elaine in Wiltshire, you're there. Congratulations. 0800 644 655. And Tina, well done. Lillian, you've just joined me. Dawn, congratulations. Gertrude, you've just got 2, well done. WHGP 19 for those, brand new. Goodness. Lapis rounds. These are so blue. Do you know what? The pyrite in these as well. Wow. And they're natural. 100% natural. Quite often lapis is dyed. Again, nothing wrong with that, but wherever we can improve on the beauty of a gemstone, we will absolutely do it. These are completely natural. This is the colour that Mother Nature intended with this gemstone, and it is so striking. That is so, so blue. Known for its beautiful pyrite inclusions, a lot of people's go-to, because of the gold inclusions that you've got there in the pyrite, tends to be gold with your lapis, and it just works fantastically as well. Gives you a very Egyptian look, the lapis and the blue together. They're like little planets again, aren't they? It's like stars in the night sky, those pyrite inclusions within the gemstones. 6 to 7 millimeters in size. You've got 85 carats in total. 85 carats. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 22, 4, 6, 7. 27 individual gemstones. And you know what? Because of that fasting as well, they are so lustrous, so sparkly. What would you do with your strand, Sammi, do you think?
I've got such a soft spot for it. I really adore it. I probably would put it with have like small pyrite rounds in between each one, have quite a simple necklace that looks very retro.
Yeah.
I adore them. It would be something quite simple because they're so beautiful.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to overcomplicate things. I wouldn't do a big wire piece on them because they need to speak for themselves. They're gorgeous.
Do, don't they? They're so striking in their own right, aren't they? KXRU04 you said Debridge. Oh, I think you said Debridge. Deb Briggs in the West Midlands. I've just done Sammy's anchor. And I put lapis on mine, very nautical. I put the picture on your Facebook page. Yes, Deb, that's what we want to see. Pictures of your makes while we're live uploaded. Can we get that, Ryan, on the break at all? And can we show that? We'll have a look, see if we can show that. KXRU04 is your code for this one. 0800 644 655. Taking it down. Bargain town. Just £9.95 with natural lapis you've got here. Great for gents pieces as well. You know, just using perhaps one of these in a macrame design.
Yeah, or just one hanging on a black cord.
Yeah.
And they look absolutely stunning on their own.
Wow. Nice.
My husband would be all over that. He loves that. Yeah. He's always stealing my jewellery. He always is.
Oh, bless him. KXRU. I was just thinking you could perhaps, you know, borrow his tools at the same time, you know, if he's got any useful
He borrows
tools.
mine.
Okay. So think of something else then. £9.95. KXRU04 is your code for this one. That's the thing, you know, if you've got any your other half, if he's quite a handy man, I think they can get quite envious.
Yeah.
At heavy tools. You know, we had hammers for £1 the other day in the sale. We did. And I said then, you know what, the guys will be so jealous. Deb's anchor. We found it, Deb. Look at that. As if you've done that while you've been watching the show today. In the last hour, in fact. That's fabulous. Isn't that great?
That's amazing. Thank you, Deb, for doing that. That's beautiful.
Love that.
It's
Well
really
done,
good.
Deb. Gorgeous, gorgeous design. Coming up for you after the break, I've got the pearls. It's the one to own 95 sterling silver earring findings with your perfect round pearls. So make sure you don't go anywhere because I've got the second kit and another demonstration coming up from our Sammi as well. I'll see you in just a few minutes.
When you place your first order with Jewellery Maker, we'll send you a free DVD and booklet to help you get started. The booklet is jam-packed full of information on gemstones, tools, threading, materials and findings. There are step-by-step instructions on how to make bracelets, earrings and necklaces, and the DVD includes easy-to-follow video tutorials. So what are you waiting for? Start your jewellery making journey today. Owning a strand of genuine gemstones is always exciting, but being able to use it in your handcrafted jewellery, then passing it on to its new owner with proof of its authenticity is even more incredible. Why not add one of our printed authenticity cards to your order and share that same feeling with your customers? You can also access online authenticity certificates for items you have previously ordered by looking at your order history on your account details. The certificate gives you valuable information about your purchase and is your guarantee of quality and peace of mind from Jewellery Maker.
Did you know, no matter how many times you purchase with Jewellery Maker in the same day, you'll only be charged one fee of postage and packaging. Select our standard delivery for just £2.95, or if you'd like to receive your goods sooner, upgrade to our premium option for £4.95.
There are 4 easy ways to stay in touch with Jewellery Maker. You can like our Facebook page and join a community of over 54,000 people. You can follow us on Twitter and tweet us your messages and opinions, send photos of your designs and enter our Wall of Fame competition. Or if you need any help or advice, you can email our friendly help team. Make sure to get involved and stay up to date with Jewellery Maker.
We here at Jewellery Maker love to hear your feedback. So working in conjunction with FIFO, a global ratings and reviews provider, when you purchase a product from JM, you will receive an email asking you to rate our service and our products. This helps us to bring you excellent customer service and ensure we're bringing you value for money and high quality goods. Have your say with Jewellery Maker FIFO reviews.
Good afternoon, welcome back to Jewellery Maker. It is time for our Want to Own now. This is exclusive to us here on the Mid Show at Jewellery Maker, so you don't get to see any other time of day apart from now. Yesterday we had some pearl drops, some earring findings that were really popular. I think these will be even more popular today because they are perfect rounds. These are gorgeous. Now, pearls anyway, as we were saying earlier on, you know, they're very desirable. And the one thing that is taken into consideration when it comes to valuing a pearl is roundness. Now, pearls are very much like diamonds when it comes to pricing. So if you had, for example, a 91 point diamond solitaire and a 99 point diamond solitaire, although that is kind of 8 points in between, the price tag will remain quite steady. But the difference between a 99 point diamond and a 1.01 carat diamond can be absolutely huge because we're at that desirable point of a carat. That's what everybody wants to own. So at a carat and above, price tag can pretty much do what it likes. Same with pearls. Once we get to 7mm in a perfect round, that price tag can shoot through the roof. Now you have not just one, but 2 pairs of perfect rounds, 7mm rounds in your half drilled freshwater culture pearls. And they're natural. Now, Sammi, you were saying that you put a picture up on Facebook of a pearl necklace.
Yeah.
The other day, it was in 4 figures, you know, and you said you referred to, I think you said 10 by 11mm, didn't you?
10 by 11 and a 6mm.
Wow.
So the 6mm was £1,040 for the necklace.
Yeah.
And the 10 by 11 was only £100 more. Which,
wow.
But I guess that's because it was 10
by 11, not perfect rounds. Yeah. I mean, they can command huge price tags. The last time I looked at a particular, I can't say high street jewellers because it wasn't like your typical high street jewellers. It was more boutique-y, but on the high street, if you like. And there was a pair of earrings. They were perfect rounds, 8mm in size, and they had 2 tiny diamonds above them. And they were £1,250. Now, I can't make a direct comparison. You know, there are some pearls that are more desirable and more considered, like Tahitian pearls and South Sea culture pearls, for example. But if you look on a search engine right now and you look at 7mm perfect rounds, this kind of luster, this kind of pearlescence that you've got here, you know, this perfection that you have, they are 925 sterling silver earring findings. Now they don't come like this, they will come as separate components. So you've got your 4 individual gemstones there, and then you've also got your earring posts and your butterfly backings. Now all you need to do, if you've got your high post cement, that's great because it does have a precision applicator. Just pop a little bit of glue into the drill hole on your pearl, then you just pop your earring finding in there and then you just give it a little bit of drying time, and that is it. So that is actually really quick turnaround, isn't it? You know, that's something that's going to take you seconds to do, but actually gives you the highest possible standard with your finish. Really does. Now I'm thinking bridal with these, Sammi.
Bridal or perfect Christmas gifts for your mum or your mother-in-law. A pair each, one for mum, one for mother-in-law. It's probably what I'd do with them.
Yeah.
And I'd have to get another lot because I want some.
I have. I'm really lucky actually. I've got some white. Just like this, some white studs. I also have some peach studs that were sent in from one of our customers. I'm also looking to have some Tahitian ones as well. But they are, for me, something that I can wear any day of the week. You know, I can wear them with my casual outfit, but I can also wear them, you know, with my little black dress, if you like, on an evening out. You know, it's something that is so wearable, something that's really, really versatile in your own personal collection. QSPO15. What kind of prices were you looking at, Phil, on the web? One pair for £33. And they're 6x7mm, so they're not perfect rounds. But, and you know what, that's a really great price tag. If you said to me, I found some genuine pearl earrings at £30 a pair, I'd tell you to multi-buy if you could, because that for genuine pearls is a great price tag, I think.
It is for the perfect rounds. That's really, really good. And that's a reasonable tag. So it's not like that is in your kind of gift bracket. You know, it's kind of £20 to £30. People are kind of happy to pay that for a gift. So everyday gift.
Absolutely, they are stunning, aren't they? And if you like our Sammi that sells her jewellery, Sammi, you have boxes made, don't you?
I do. I have boxes made.
I mean, if you popped a pair of these earrings in one of your Sammi Fletcher design boxes, oh my gosh, you know, anything under £60 would look wrong, I tell you. £9.95 for both pairs. That is less than £5 each for genuine pearl earrings, and they're perfect rounds as well. 7mm. Natural pearls at less than £5 per pair. I mean, how long would that take you, Sammi, to make them, to simply glue the earring findings in?
Minutes. Then you've got the drying time and that's it. But yeah, minutes. So in terms of, that's what I'm saying, when earrings are our quickest turnaround and biggest money maker, because we're having to spend the least amount of time doing them. And that's it. And don't be like, oh, we're using glue, but that's what all of the high street jewellers do. Absolutely everybody glues pearls into their, that's how they're done. That's it.
So yeah, don't be afraid to get the old glue out and use it. £5 a pair, that's ridiculously low, isn't it? Sheila in Leicestershire, Collect It in Leicestershire, June in Merseyside, Shirley, Sally's got 2, Dealey in Kent, well done, Maxine in Tennessee. And I'm thinking, you know, if you are a beginner to us here at Jewellery Maker and, you know, you just want to have a little go, this would actually be a great starting point, actually. It's really, anybody could do this, couldn't they? Absolutely anybody. Quick turnaround, great money spinner if you are selling your jewellery on. If not, to be able to give somebody a pair of perfect round pearl earrings.
Yeah, definitely.
And they cost you £5.
Get them put away for Christmas. Do it.
I love Sammi. She's mentioned Christmas so many times already.
But it's probably because I've got so many children that I have to start Christmas shopping in January in the sales. So what I do is throughout, because I'm a bit tight, as you know, I like to make my money go quite a way. So we start in January, and then throughout the year, if we see bits and pieces, we put them. We have a little cupboard and we put them away, and then come Christmas time, we've got, you know, stuff without that panic so much at the end.
Clever shopping, Sammi. Clever shopping. Right, let's go over and have a look at the second kit today. I've got to be honest with you, I can't choose a favourite today. Both of the kits have been exceptional, they really have. This one, for me, might have the edge because it features Peruvian opal. Blue. So, and the aquamarine, do you know, I genuinely didn't think that aquamarine was aquamarine because it's the bluest strand I think I've ever seen. Do you know, I almost thought it was like a sky blue apatite.
I thought it was apatite when I got it out, I must admit.
Yeah.
Because normally I'm very good and I thoroughly check my kit listing, but I just got them out and thought, oh, apatite, I don't need to check.
Yeah.
You know, I know what this is.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It's such an intense blue.
It is, but for aquamarine as well, you know, it's known to be quite pale in colour, but I have to say this isn't pale in colour, this aquamarine. It's really quite distinct, that colour. So I did think this was kind of sky blue apatite. I was really, really shocked to learn that it was in fact aquamarine. That quality is exceptional. I mean, look at how blue this is.
Oh, just divine. It's my favourite strand for a long time.
It's so sparkly, so sparkly. Now that's 40 carats, and you know that is completely natural as well. So obviously, you know, when we see strands like this, sometimes you might think, do you know, maybe it's treated. But it's not completely natural. This is the colour that Mother Nature intended right here. If you've ever heard the term, the lighter the brighter. The lighter a gemstone is, generally that allows more light into the gemstone, giving you more brilliance, which is internal light, and more sparkle. Therefore, if you like sparkly gemstones, so many people tend to go for aquamarine because it is one of the best at giving us sparkle. It really, really is. Producer Phyllis just said, you know what, that is a stunning strand. It's ridiculous, isn't it? That colour, that's the best strand of aquamarine I've ever seen. For colour, it's just phenomenal. And to know that that is completely natural as well is fantastic. 40 carats, natural. You've got faceted rondelles there. They are stunning. What size, sorry, lovely? 2x1 to 4x2 millimetres in size. There's a lot of aquamarine on that strand that you've got there. You've also got your pearls. Oh, 9x7 millimetres in size. Look at that colour. That's making me think, surprise, surprise, of holidays. You know, like tropical places. You know, it's got that tropical blue though, hasn't it?
It
has,
has.
Sammi. It's not just me, is it?
No, it has. It really does. It makes you think of the seas and lagoons and things like that. Yeah.
Oh, just gorgeous. That's a beautiful strand. I can't remember the last time I had this colour in a pearl either. It's going to work great with any of the colour pearls that you've got, especially your whites and your ivories as well. Popping just one of those into a strand of white pearls will really, really set it off. So you've got some big, big pearls there. 9x7 millimetres in size. I'm just going to quickly measure that for you. Approximately 15 inches in length. And then you have 29 centimetre collector's strand Peruvian opal, one of the best locations for this gemstone. Completely natural, but what's so great about this particular strand is those tones, those different tones that you've got running throughout that strand. How versatile is this? From your greens right through to your lagoon blues in there, your autumnal hues. Great one for the gents as well, I'm thinking, with this one.
It is so versatile, like you said. Again, it's one of those that you could simply restrand with a clasp on the back.
Yeah.
Because
definitely.
It is just divine. Yeah. And you could see it. I could see it on some 6-foot bronze surfer. But then
I bet you could.
I like to think about that sort of thing, so that's fine.
Yeah. So you just put that image in my head. What am I doing? Where am I? Do you know, that is a huge, huge carat weight that you've got there. Collector's gemstone. David in Essex says that strand is so beautiful. The way the light catches the green and the pearls. Excellent. They're gorgeous, aren't they? And if I put all of those together. Debbie in Wiltshire says, hi Hannah and Sammi, this strand looks fabulous. Cannot wait to see the demos. Look at those. Oh, what a combination of gemstones. Do you know, I quite often do this as well. But I've just got to say that because of the strand of aquamarine and the Peruvian opal here, any of those strands, I would be quite happy to hand over the price tag of the whole kit for just one of those strands. Aquamarine, Peruvian opal, I'm not fussy, but you know what, you can take all of them, and that's not all you are getting. One of the most popular colours in our wire here at Jewellery Maker, you have your rose gold plated copper wire. This is what always amazed me, and you know, I always have to say it a couple of times, rose gold plated. Yeah. It's not rose gold coloured, it's rose gold plated. How phenomenal is that? 0.4, you know, you've got that incredible colour of your rose gold there. So that's giving you the highest and the best finish, isn't it? It really is. So you've got 100 metres of your 0.4 millimetre wire. Once again, gold dust, brilliant. You've then got your 0.8 millimetre gauge and your 0.6, 10 metres of each. That's 120 metres of a really popular colour. But because it is rose gold plated, you've got that look of rose gold and that warmth that is just, oh, I love rose gold. It's gorgeous.
Perfect with the colours of
Yeah.
the stones in the kit. It's
Yeah.
just a dreamy kit, isn't it?
Look at that design. Sammi Fletcher, I tell you, it's just exquisite. Both of them, I look at that aquamarine necklace. That is so gem heavy, so gem heavy. What kind of prices do you think you'd pop on these, Sammi?
I haven't a clue because I didn't actually think that was aquamarine, so that kind of changes the ball game a bit. So that's going to be 60 to 80.
Yeah.
For that one, and the seahorse again, that's got to be 50 to 60 pounds on that one. There's a lot less gemstones on it again because you're quite frugal with the stones and making them go far. But yeah, so we're going to learn to do the seahorse today.
Wow. I mean, did you have any gemstones left? Because it doesn't look like you've used all of the opal. Maybe some pearls as well.
I had all of those pearls and all of these opals left. I used all of the aquamarine because I fell in love with it so much. So yeah, we've got loads of stones left. And
I would imagine that you had a lot of wire, yeah.
Yes, I mean I've got all of this wire left. So
incredible. Just shows you how far these kits can go. So for brand new viewers here at Jewellery Maker, brilliant if you're looking for somewhere to start. This is a great place to start. You've got wire and you've got gemstones. And for our regular viewers here at Jewellery Maker as well, if you are simply topping up your stash today, you're just saving more money. Essentially what you've got at the top of your screen is a discount code, individually priced on the web today. You'll be paying £46.20. I think that's good. This is what I mean, Sammi. But wait until you see this price tag.
No way.
Would you not be happy to pay $24.95 for that aquamarine?
But now I know that it's completely natural aquamarine, I would be thinking that that was a £59.95 strand.
You would, wouldn't you?
Because when you go and you look at the price of aquamarine anywhere, it's incredible, especially natural, non-treated.
Oh yeah. But this is what I love about us here at Jewellery Maker. If you go into a jeweller's and you looked at an aquamarine ring and you said to them, is it natural? Chances are, in a high street jeweller's, they're probably not going to be able to answer that question for you. Just saying, you know what you're getting here at Jewellery Maker. Look at what you are getting today for £24.95. Sally in Yorkshire, ×3.
Definitely.
Yes. Oh, do you know what? That's what I would be doing, Sammi.
Yeah.
Multi-buying on this one because it's not every day. I mean, I do say a lot, hands up, I do say a lot, this is the best strand I've ever seen. If I say it, I genuinely mean it. That is the best strand of aquamarine I've ever seen for colour, and that's what we want to see with aquamarine. That's exactly what you have there. Natural Peruvian opal of this carat weight. I don't really have any words.
I can't believe that price. I genuinely cannot believe that price. You've got 100 metres of 0.4, but that strand is worth more than, I mean, that to me, I'd pay a lot more than £24.95 for that one.
Me too, the Peruvian opal. In fact, the pearls, you know, if you bought the pearl strand on their own, again, think about how much you'd sell that for. Pearl knot, sterling silver clasp, what kind of price tag would you pop on your pearls? Would you have your money back, you personally at home? I think you probably would, wouldn't you? YE, GC83, loads of you multi-buying, massive well done. Lots of telephone bidders on the phone lines. Over half of the stock has already gone. You will need to be quick in checking this one out, as quick as you can, whether you're playing on the phone lines or whether you are playing on the web today. Speed is of the essence, I tell you. Gotta be quick. I'd be gutted if I missed out on this kit today.
I'm definitely getting this kit because I just completely love the whole kit.
Yeah.
Also, the Peruvian opal, you can see that I've made a rosary chain with the Peruvian opal and the pearls. Didn't need to ream any of them, so that's a 0.6 for the rosary. Gone through that. I always like to tell people that because it is a very useful thing for people to know when they're creating at home.
0.6 millimetre gauge, that's fantastic. Phil's had a little text that's made him chuckle. Anne-Marie Staviger says, I make my doorstops by stuffing old teddies with stones.
Wow.
Genius. Great idea. Great idea. Well done if you managed to check that out. Do you know what? If you haven't, you can keep dining. You can keep coming in for this kit. It will sell out. It's going very, very quickly. 2/3 of the stock has gone already. So Webbers, just get checking out. Now, which piece are you going to show us?
We're going
Sammi?
to do the seahorse today.
Oh, fabulous.
We're going to do the seahorse.
Yeah.
So I've just managed to hook the wire. There we go. So we'll start with the 0.8 wire. And I'm going to pull off. See, I'm running it through my hands. I'll use my nylon pliers to do that.
There you go.
There we go. So I'm going to put off, again, probably around 18 inches. This is, again, far too much, but
Yeah.
I always prefer to work with more. And for the silly price of this kit, you can get away with it. So roughly halfway, so kind of if you bend the tips together like that, you get an idea of where halfway. It doesn't matter if it is or it isn't. So again, you're going to use your thumb or your pliers just to make a little bend. Then you will need your nylon jaw pliers for this bit. You are going to just squeeze it together, because what you're making the tip of the tail, like so.
Okay.
Again, I like to hold it still and then turn it around, because as you squeeze it likes to twist.
Yeah.
So just flatten it back out and then squeeze, and just keep doing that so it doesn't twist too much. And then you have there's a little bit of a gap in there. That's fine, because you can start threading your 0.4 through. So we're going to spread it out a little bit with your thumbnail like that. Again, if you don't have a thumbnail, just use the end of your needle nose pliers through there. So I'm going to pick up a bit of 0.4. Again, with this, work with what you're used to weaving with. Ideally, you want quite a lot, because you don't want to have to add in, but if you do, it's not. If you have to add in, it's not the end of the world. Practice and you'll be able to use a longer and longer weaving wire. So what we're going to do is just in this gap at the end, you can see I'm just threading a bit of 0.4 through, and I'm going to spread these two wires apart very, very slightly at the end. It just makes the weave a little bit easier to do. So I'm just gently doing that. So what we're going to do is just going to hold the tail, wrap it around about 3 times. So take it up through that gap. It's much easier to wrap when you have a gap to do, like so. And taking it up through the gap each time. I'm just going round and round initially until it's secured. And then you're going to do it's the hourglass weave, under and over. So because the wire is coming up between the two of them, so it started on the bottom of this wire, we're going to go over the top wire, like so. I'm just going to make sure that's pushed up firmly. You can see I use my nail to do that, and I'm pulling really quite tight, because you see how deep that goes on my thumb.
Okay.
And that's how you get a very neat finish. And then you're going to bring the wire all the way around once. So, I mean, all the way around the top wire once, like so. Again, pushing that up really, really firmly, and then take it around the bottom wire. So you're going under and over in like an hourglass weave, and then all the way around each side, and then under and over. And you want to do that for about 1.5 inches.
Okay.
If you make sure each wrap is neat, then your overall weave will be neat.
Right.
So it's worth taking the time rather than rushing it like a bullet at gates. Because when you do actually form the tail, it's going to show. So don't worry. We're going to slightly, as you weave, you want to slightly taper it out. Right. But don't worry if it wants to come in and then go back out a bit, because once you start bending it, it won't matter. So again, weave till you get to about here on your wires. I've got one that I have done over here, just for ease, so you're not watching me doing that.
That is as well.
Well, it looks quite neat, doesn't it? But if you actually look at it, it goes in slightly and out slightly, and it's not like perfectly straight. You can probably see that from there better than they can see at home. So that's basically where you stop weaving and you start to form the actual tail. So I do that actually before I bend the rest of the seahorse, if you like. So if you get your round nose pliers, and you see you have this little end bit where the weave just likes to slide up a little bit, and that's fine, because that's what you need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my round nose pliers, and I'm very carefully just start bending that up. And then I'm going to take my nylon pliers and flatten it, if you see what I mean. And then I'm going to start twisting it round. Obviously, you're going to take the time at home to make sure it's perfectly neat. I'm such a perfectionist. So I would actually sit and faff and faff and faff. So I'm literally just curling out, and you can see what happens is that weave begins to spread out.
Yeah.
And it just adds a little bit of detail, and you can use your fingers to do it with as well. And you can see that you can't tell that that wasn't completely parallel because you've just bent it, and the eye can't see it anymore.
Yeah.
So don't panic.
Okay.
So what we're now going to do is you have your tail there, and I'm keeping the rest of this weaving wire kind of off to one side. So if you find it easier to have drawn a little seahorse, so then you can just kind of bend your wire around in that, around the picture, like Claire does with her wire writing. But what I'm going to do is just gently use my thumb to make a little bit of a tummy. And then when I figure it's not too long in the body, bring it back in, and I'm going to start forming the head. Now, this bit is the top of the head, if you like, because you're going to bring it back round for the snout. So it does help if you've got like a picture of a seahorse, if you want, you know, if you want to draw an outline, or it does help if you've just got a picture that you're looking at, so you get an idea. And you can see I'm just beginning to make a little bit of a head. And then when I get to this stage, I mean, you can tuck it, you can make a little bit more of a shape around for the muzzle if you want to.
Okay.
So we're looking at about 1 centimetre. You want to cut that off there. And then we're going to curl that up to make a little internal kind of just detail to the face, because you want to be able to have an anchor point, but it also wants to be decorative. So, I know I'm just moving it around. I'm going to get my round nose pliers in the end, and I'm just twisting to make a little, I'll hold it up when I've done it, just to make a little curl. And then you're just going to curl him up to make like kind of a cheekbone. Does that make?
Yeah.
Cheekbone, is that the right bit? So if I've just done that, if I hold that up, and you can see what I've done, I've just got a little internal there. I want to tilt his head down a bit, but again, you can worry about that when you're done.
Yeah.
So you have his little head, and what this does, it gives you a point when you're wrapping that you can wrap that still, so that when somebody is actually wearing it, it's not going to catch on anything, and it's not going to, because it's really, really important when you're doing wire work pieces, especially neckwear, that you don't want it to be able to catch. So then you have this bit here, and you're going to start forming it into, like, you want a little bit of head detail, because like some of them, they have these little frondy bits at the top.
Yeah.
Again, you're just using your thumb just to make, and it's up to you how many little fronds you want to put in, or how steep they are. I like to get my pliers in and squidge it quite closed, but I'm just going to use my thumb for quickness at the moment. You can see I am actually being really, really, really fast with this. And you want to make sure it's going to sit on top of the head, so you don't want to come in too low, because if you look, I've done that, and that's just coming in behind the head.
Yeah.
So what I would actually do is I'd get my pliers in and just go, actually, no, I need to bend that a bit further up, because it's not sitting quite right. So you would take the time at home to put these where you want them. And again, I want this one to be a bit closer, so I'm going to pick up my pliers and just squeeze it in like that, very, very, very gently. And now I'm going to take this last one round, and I'm going to trim it off and then make a little curl, because we want an anchor point. Again, it's all about making lots of little anchor points, so that you can have stability in the finished piece. So again, getting my round nose pliers in and just curling the end like so. She says, there we go. I'm using it, bracing it against my finger, because that makes it easy. So, and then I'll bend that so it'll fit on top of his head. So at this point, you've got your basic seahorse shape with the tail. So what you can now do is start to wrap the tummy. So you need your wire to be on the tummy side, and you notice that I just open it out.
Yeah.
That's fine, because we're not worried about where that's going for the minute. What's the most important thing is here that I'm just going to is that we're wrapping the stones onto his tummy. So I've got the wire caught in there. Right, so I'm going to go round and round and round this bit just for about 4 or 5 millimeters, just enough that I can start getting the first stone in, and it's just in the beginning of the curve.
Yeah.
You want it to be able to sit nicely, don't you? So what I did with the aquamarine was trim the tassels off each end, and then just pull the last few off. So we have the tiniest at the end.
Look at the colour of those individually.
I mean, this is the thing. They're standalone. I mean, some of the strands you get, with especially the really small ones, you'll find that the colour is just sacrificed for the size.
Yeah.
But on this, the colour's just so intense. It just stands out on a white background.
Even just one of them, doesn't
I know.
it?
So I'm just like literally letting one of them fall in.
Yeah.
Now, if I was to just wrap that on there, you can see that the wire is going to come across the front of that stone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that wrapping back about 3 mil, put a little dink in with my finger, and then wrap it like so. Do you see what I mean? So now the wire is not covering the stone. Alternatively, you could just do it and then turn it over and it would be fine. But I prefer to work from the front of a piece, if that makes sense to you. So then you would just continue wrapping stones on. You're going to go about 4 or 5 millimetre between each stone. Before you put your next one on, just so it allows them not to be, they're close together but they're not kind of butting up against each other, if that makes sense. And you end up with one like that. So I've done, you can see that I've done one where we have all the stones on, and what I have done is I've continued to wrap the wire. If I hold it up, I've continued to wrap the wire up to the base of his face. So this is the point where I think that I'm going to wrap those 2 wires together. You've still got that definition in that little tiny gap. I know it's attention to detail and it's probably boring for some people, but it makes a difference. If you wrap too early, you're taking away some of that curvy shape that you've spent a lot of time doing. So at this point, this is where you want to take the wire through and just wrap that closed. So that's what I'm going to do now. And again, because we still have this opening here, it's quite easy to do. So we just push the wire through, and there's another tip. Just drag it, and rather than running your hand along. So if you run your hand along your wire, what's going to happen is it's going to work hard and really, really fast. And then you're not going to get as smooth a wrap. Just do it 2 or 3 times, whatever you're more comfortable with. And then you're going to go back to wrapping just his face, and you're going to wrap it. If I bring it across here a bit more, you can see, and then you're going to wrap it all the way around there. So I've wrapped that shut there, and now I'm just literally wrapping the single wire. Now that's up to you if you want to do that. To be fair, what will happen is when I get to here, I'll wrap those 2 together. It's up to you if you want to continue it all the way around. I did just for the sake of, I thought it looked better. I thought it looked like the continuation of the wrapping made sense to me. It doesn't always to everybody. So if you do that, then we have one like that. And I'll hold him up for you again in a second so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So what I've done is I've continued that with wrap all the way up there. Whenever I have met a point, I have secured it together, so that is not moving anywhere. It makes it a much more wearable piece. And this, actually, if you put you can't, because I've got this on hanging off the bottom. If you put a jump ring through there, it hangs straight. It's really important. If you find yours doesn't, then just gently tweak and bend it until you find the centre of gravity. That'll make sense to you when you put a jump ring through the top. So you're nearly done. So then we just have to start on the whole back.
Okay. I've got some abalone here that would be a great addition to this kit. In fact, I'm thinking it would work with the seahorse in there as well. It is nautical, the theme today as well. And these are perfect. What better gemstone than your abalone? Just beautiful. Your pendant pair is approximately 30 by 20 millimetres in size. There is a drill hole at the top for you as well. So you could put your wire through there, your jump rings through there quite easily and attach that to a pendant if you want to. Or your little pinch bails as well would work on these, wouldn't they? Look at the colours.
They're gorgeous.
Blues, greens, pinks, just stunning. And you are guaranteed to get all 3. So that could be a pair of earrings and the pendant, maybe with the aquamarine and the pearls and the opal that you've had in this kit, you know, sticking with that nautical theme. They're perfect. KNPO 73. Wow. Approximately £3.30 something each. for abalone is just incredible. We've got a beautiful organic gemstone. I'm thinking as well, do you know what, I've just done that and I just thought, you know, if I multi-buy and I get 6 of those, that would make a gorgeous brooch, or 5 of those together and make a gorgeous flower.
It would look
flower.
lovely.
Wouldn't that look stunning? £9.95. They've got the flat backs on those as well. So you could glue those to a cuff or sheet if you wanted to. Entirely up to you. Get yours home today. 30-day money back guarantee and a great price point today of just £9.95. KMPO 73. Well done if you've already checked them out. Keep checking out for those. I'm going to let you carry on, Sammi.
Okay, so now you need to make his little fin that is going to sit on the back. Again, that's just another piece of the wire. You can see it's not particularly straight. Again, I'm not worried.
Okay.
I can straighten it if I need to, but I don't at this point. So this is about 5 inches long. So I'm going to literally pick up my round nose pliers and I'm going to make a tiny little loop at the end and then make a very, very, very small swirl. So I'll pick up my round nose, not round nose, these are the nylon jaw pliers. And I'm literally just going to curl it up. I don't want to make it too big of a swirl because, again, I'm thinking about utilising this tiny gap to get the wire through and to anchor it to the frame. So obviously if I make this really big, then the anchor frame, the anchor wire is longer, so it's more visible. Yeah. So that's just something I think about when I'm putting a design together. So now I want a little bit of wire here, just so that I can just have a little bit of a glint on his backbone. That was all that was. So we're going to go for about 3/4 centimetre, and then I'm just going to bend it upwards. And you can see that's all I'm doing. I'm just making a bit of a bend to start. That's one edge of the fin. Now, using your round nose, or you can use your baling pliers for this bit, what you want to do again is just make a shape. So I'm just going to hold it in between my baling pliers like so, and then I'm going to pull that wire pretty much all the way around, and I'm making almost a loop. But obviously I just want a fin. I don't want that all the way back. So I'll put the balers back in, and I'll just make a little bit of a dink, like so. It's a very, very technical term, that. And then I'm just going to continue doing kind of like a little wavy bit. And then again, I want to make another little tiny dink. And then I'm going to use the same bit of the pliers I used before and take that all the way around. And that is just so that I'm forming the same level of curve there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what I can now do is start to kind of pull that into shape. And I'm just kind of pushing out the middle bit and squishing it a little bit. And you'll start getting that fan shape.
Okay.
And then you just take, obviously at home, you can take your time to do that properly. I'm literally I love how workable this wire is. It's amazing.
And you've done a lot of that kind of freehand as well, haven't you?
I have, but obviously not everybody's as confident. So if you're not, then just draw it with a pen on a bit of paper and just go around that drawing. You might not even want to put a fin on the back. That is also up to you. So you want about 1 inch of the wire left at the bottom, and then you're going to just trim that to about 1 inch and then make another little curl the way you just did at the beginning. And again, I've done one which I took a little bit more time over, and you can just see if I hold it up, you can probably get a much better look at what I'm talking about. Now what I've tried to do is make sure that the swirl ends up with the loop at the closest point to here.
Right.
You see, so if you took it round again, it'd be a bit further apart, and I've done that on both sides. That's not completely imperative. That's just me being fussy.
Okay.
So we have that, and then you're going to pick up your, which one have I wrapped? Oh, I've put it over here. I was trying to be really efficient so I didn't mess them all up. So now what you're going to do is attach your 0.4 to the base of your seahorse frame. So if I shove this lot out, I'm so messy when I work. And you can see I've wrapped to almost the level of the bottom aquamarine there, and I've still got the tail on, and the tail is basically so you've got something to hang on to. And what I'm going to do is just lay that across my hand like that, and then you're going to take the wire up through this little gap here. So I spend so long, so much of my life is spent poking a tiny wire up through a little hole. But that's what we're going to do. We're just literally going to take that up there and just twisting it so it doesn't kink and just pulling it up. And then I'll just reposition. And then I'm going to pull that nice because it wants to, there you go, you pull it nice and tight and keep repositioning till you've got it exactly where you want it. Put it really firmly and then wrap that together a couple of times. Okay. It's just an anchor point, really. Just a way of holding it as close as possible. Who wants to twist? Now I'm very used to working at home with it quite close to my chest.
Yeah, of course.
So what I'm doing here is quite a difficult thing to do. You know, we're always quite used to holding it quite far up, aren't we? Now at this point, you can choose whether you want to wrap these two wires together all the way down here, or whether you want to leave that shiny and just wrap the base. I think because I want it to be quite firm, I'm going to wrap them both together. But again, what you're going to need to do is just to hold it exactly where you need it. Now this frame is closed, so you're not going to be able to go round and round and round. You're going to have to feed through each time, which is going to take a little bit longer. But that's what you're going to do. And just wrap the fin onto this frame. And you can see I much prefer to pull it through than run my hands through it. And again, because you'll be working with a closed frame, it's really important that you do that. It's much less forgiving. So if you've already worked hard and draw wire, if you're working with a closed frame, you are quite likely to snap it or kink it at this point. Although it's quite an open thing, so it takes a bit longer, as you can see. But we're going to do that. And then when we get to this gap, we're just going to weave them shut. So you just have to watch me do this for a minute.
That's all right.
But yeah, I'm just, each time, I don't know if you notice, I don't want to kink there, so I'm just twisting. Each time I just push it up really firmly. Yeah. I push it up firmly underneath and then I push it up firmly on the top as well. Okay. So there's two little pushes. And that's why you've got your trademark wire worker's dink in your nail. I have. It's very useful though, isn't it? Well, it's as fast, to be fair, as fast as we file those out, we get them back. And they're really, they're kind of really important tools, to be honest. I get, well, if I break a nail, I get gutted, not because I've broken a nail as such, but because that's actually my tool. So I get really fed up. I get fed up with it. So, and it's pointless putting nail varnish on, because as soon as we put nail varnish on, we scratch it, take it off, the parrot chews it, anything like that. He hates nail varnish. Does he? Try and peck it off. Yeah, he comes and he tries to peel it off, and he shouts at you. He doesn't like it at all. He's like, what he does, he gets proper cross with you. So at this point, like with the anchor, what you can do is you can take an aquamarine or an opal, and you can just use that and weave that on there if you wish. Okay, yeah. I can't remember if I actually did that on the final design or not. Did you? Did I? Oh, yeah. I did? Yeah. There you go, I took one in between. But I'm going to weave this one on top. That's the thing, is I forget my memory. I don't know how anybody remembers what they've done. I've got to be honest, I just don't know how everybody, because every time you all come in, you guest designers, you're making different designs all the time. We are, and we quite often we make terrible. 2 or 3. So what I'm going to do is I've just literally threaded that on, closing that gap, using that, taking it up through there, and then I'm just going to weave it, I'm going to pull it really firmly, push it up, and then you will continue to weave along here. Right. And to finish it, literally attach a 0.4 here, and then put 3 stones in there. Yeah. And that would just go round, if you want to, just go round and round and round and round the edge and place the stone on. Do so. If you don't want to do that, then just literally fill it in with the stones. You could fill the whole fin in with aquamarine if you wanted. That would look absolutely beautiful. But I love the different colours of the Peruvian opals, because to me they look like a seabed. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And I just think that ties in with the whole seahorse thing. It does, doesn't it? All those different tones. It does. So there you go. Thank you so much, Sammi. Gorgeous, gorgeous designs. They are beautiful. Thank you so much for a star. You can have a rest now. Put your feet up. We've got lots coming up for you this hour. Lots more coming up for you, in fact, this hour. I'm off Ryan, I'm on the move. Yay.
we've got your deal of the day, which is coming up just after the break, actually, at 4 o'clock, which is your aluminium wire bundle. Huge wire bundle. And aluminium wire is fantastic. If you've never worked with it before, you're going to love that. I've also got a star buy coming up for you right now. One of my favourites. One of my favourite gemstones in the world. My top 6 are all green gemstones. Sammi, you told us earlier on that it's actually Alison's favourite gemstone as well, isn't it? Our Alison Terry is here. It's Zena's favourite gemstone as well here at Jewellery Maker. It is one of those that is so desirable. A gemstone, you know what I was saying earlier on, that, you know, there's some gemstones that you just wouldn't expect to have here at Jewellery Maker. I think, we're known for bringing you a lot of B quality gemstones here at Jewellery Maker. And quite often we get the gemstone quality, but very rarely. This is gemstone quality chrome dioxide that you have here. Check out the inner glow from these gemstones. That is just the best colour. I mean, it's so striking. And you know, that's 100% natural. 100% natural, that colour. The tone, the hue, the saturation, we can tick every single box here. The hue being the actual colour of the gemstone, the tone being the lightness or darkness of a gemstone, and the saturation being the vividness of that colour. For me, perfect. Absolutely perfect. Now, this particular gemstone comes all the way from Siberia over in Russia, where temperatures can reach as low as -45 degrees. Is a little bit on the chilly side, which means that more often than not, the ground is frozen over solid. It is impossible for us to gain access to that mine. A couple of months of the year, July and August, it might warm up a little to say -20, and we may be able to gain access to that mine. So this is all. There's a lot of ifs, isn't there? A lot of ifs here. If we can gain access to that mine, the chances of us actually finding any chrome dioxide, very slim. The chances of us finding any chrome dioxide this is of gemstone quality, even slimmer. So in fact, this entire strand here, I wouldn't be surprised if this was an entire day's parcel right here that we have. 55 carats. Very collectible. Janet has already checked hers out. Do you know what? That's somebody that's been waiting for this strand, somebody that's been waiting for this gemstone. 55 carats. Now, your drops are 3x2 to 7x4 millimeters in size. This green, oh my gosh. Do you like chrome dioxide, Sammi?
I adore it because it's dramatic and I love a bit of drama. I do. It's just so, it's so vivid.
Yeah.
And there is no kind of, no other green like it, is there? It's just such an amazing, intense green. It is, and that's you know, probably the best word to describe it is intense, isn't it? Because it really is. Now, at £44.95 for this gemstone, we shouldn't be less than £1 a carat. We just shouldn't be. We're already way lower than that now. At £29.95. I think we're around 60p a carat, something like that. That is absolutely bonkers for this gemstone. You have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Approximately halfway. I'd say there's approximately 60 gemstones on this strand here. 60 gemstones. That could be 30 pairs of earrings. What would you do with your strand, do you think, Sammi? I'd look at it for ages. But no, I'd make connectors with one drop on each, so it just fans out around the neck. Oh, I love them, and because they're so bright, they would stand up to being on the base of a connector.
Can you imagine these outside in the daylight?
Oh yeah.
Can you imagine? They would just absolutely glow from within. They really, really would. They are fantastic, so vivid, so juicy in their hue. Once that light gets into that gemstone, you've got just the most magnificent, magnificent glow. Jane in Gloucestershire, collect it in Nottinghamshire, Janet in County Durham, Jacqueline in Cumbria, Lorna in Berkshire, Charlene, Jan, you're there, Tina, Gail, well done to you, Wendy, collect it in Leicestershire, you've got yours, congratulations, collect it in the West Midlands, you've just joined me on the web there as well. 0800 644 655, certificate of authenticity, you've got to, haven't you? You've just got to with a gemstone like this. It isn't something I've ever seen on the high street. Again, it's not to say it's not there, it could well be, but I don't think I've ever seen it. I'd definitely be going for earrings with this. What do you think, Sammi, like kind of price wise with earrings for this, if you were just to put 2 drops, long drop earrings, 925?
Again, baseline of 20 and then up.
Wow.
It depends on the work you've done.
Yeah, of course.
But obviously with a stone like that, I mean, that's my base point for a sterling silver set of earrings with a genuine gemstone is £20.
Yeah.
And then up, depending what else I've done with them.
And there's approximately 80 gemstones on this strand. Ooh! Sammi would have her money back nearly on just one pair of earrings. Fantastic value there. Do you know what? You don't have to sell this on. I don't think I could part with it either. ZSCD14 is your code for this. 0800 644 655. Let's see if we can squeeze one more auction in before the break. How do you fancy? 85 centimetres. Only got 23. That is 85 centimetres of zircon that you have there. It is the longest strand by far that I've ever seen of this particular gemstone. Look at the sparkle. Oh my gosh, I hope this comes across on screen. As I'm looking down, the sparkle on these gemstones is phenomenal. Oh wow. The oldest gemstone on the planet, dating back 4.5 billion years. This is a gemstone that saw the dinosaurs. This is a gemstone that saw the pyramids being built. This is a gemstone that in fact had the earth redated. Oh yeah. I know, isn't that incredible? You know, if this, I think if this gemstone could tell a story, wow. 4.5 billion years you've got there. You have one of the most sparkly, beautiful, timeless gemstones in your zircon. Quite often, actually, interestingly enough, whenever you see tanzanite, quite often it is accented with zircon. And I always find that quite fascinating because, you know, you've got zircon, which is the oldest gemstone on the planet, and then you've got tanzanite, which is fairly new to us here in the gem world. Such a perfect companionship. So you get some real sunstone hues, aren't you? There's some in there that look so much like sunstone. Maybe with your sunstone they would look phenomenal. Your peach moonstones as well, because you've got that peachy hue in there as well. 140 carats of your zircon, 2x1 to 6x1 millimeters in size. Do you know, Sammi, I've got to say, I think I'd be quite tempted to just do something like this, twist it together like that, and either have that in a necklace design or bracelet design.
Do one of each. Because you've got so, I love, because Mark does these amazing multi-strand chip bracelets and necklaces that I constantly admire. Yeah. So that's exactly what I would do with them. Oh wow. It really is. I love, because there's something about the nuggets and the chips that's really kind of honest. Yeah. I think kind of, it's almost like closer to nature, if you like. Yeah, definitely. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. You've got that more organic look. That's how the gemstone was intended before it's faceted, if you like, and polished. Yeah.
So when you have it like all twisted together, it just works so well, and it really maximises the use of those.
Yeah, kind of gives you that more organic look. I love. How high end does that look? See, I think that looks really, really high end. You could just simply use some gold wire with this to help hold that together, and it would look stunning, wouldn't it? Do you know what? We're at £11.95. That is an 85 centimetre strand that you have there. We've only got 17 chances available. Use your 30-day money-back guarantee if you think you need to. Whoopsie. It's heavy. 0800 644 655 AXRU08 is your code for this one. Simple. Just restrand this. You know when you tie the knot, maxi dress, tie the knot over the top in a chips and nugget strand. That would look stunning, wouldn't it? Or what was that knot we saw the other day? It was Deborah that did that knot, wasn't it, with the cords? Perhaps you could do something similar with the. I know this isn't the knot that she did, but perhaps you could do something similar with a nugget strand like this as well. That is gorgeous. Amanda in Lancashire. Mrs. Anning in Northamptonshire, Jane in Gloucestershire, Danielle Jessica's in, Janet in County Durham's in, Anne-Marie in Merseyside, Collector in Greater Manchester, Nicole in Florida, Lisa in Yorkshire, Janine in the West Midlands, you're there as well, congratulations. AXRU 0840 carats of zircon, just phenomenal. I might have to get this strand today. What I love about that is the different tones that you've got in there, real sunstone tones, autumnal hues. That'd be great for your Tree of Life designs, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be really, really good for them. You could do them in bare copper or sterling. It would hold its own in either of those. Ooh. But oxidised bare copper tree with zircon sparkling away in it is just heavenly.
Wow, that would look amazing. Really, really would. Now, coming up for you in the 4 o'clock hour, I've got a whole lot of wire, and it's not just any wire, it's your aluminium wire bundle that you've got here as well. If you've never seen it before, if you've never worked with it before, you're going to get another chance to own it after the break. I've also got lots more treats coming up for you as well, so you've got to stay tuned. Go and get yourself a fresh cuppa maybe, get yourself comfortable, have us on speed dial, and also, do you know what? It's a surprise. Just stay tuned. Just stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. I'll see you in a few.
Found Jewellery Maker by flicking through the TV one day and being absolutely astounded by the gemstones and the price. Obviously sceptical at first, but within days I'd ordered, never looked back. My first impressions were how friendly the channel is and feeling like being on the other side of the screen, you're still part of it. I enjoy the gemstones most about the channel, but also the presenters and the guest designers learning new techniques. Claire McDonald's my favourite guest designer. Her wire work is absolutely amazing, astounding. I love how the channel's evolved recently. I love the prices that we get, and the customer service is fantastic. Advice for somebody starting out in Jewellery Maker would be to have a little go at everything, see what you like, and then go with that, because you'll excel at whatever you're enjoying.
Make sure you tune in this weekend for our Summer Fate weekend. On Saturday we're joined by the amazingly talented Linda Brummel, who's had 2 kits to work with, one with emerald and shell and the other one with genuine freshwater cultured pearls and pink opal. We've also got coming up on Saturday as our deal of the day the amazing Jewellery Maker shopping trolley bag. It's absolutely incredible. It's going to be our deal of the day on Saturday at 11 AM. Make sure you tune in. See you then. Fantastic. So I can keep this one, Adam, yeah?
No.
I'll take this one home.
No, we need this for the show.
No, I'm going to take this one home, thank you. Let go. Let go! Give it to me! Give it! Ow.
What is she doing? I've got no idea.
Good afternoon, welcome back to Jewellery Maker. It's time for your deal of the day. This takes place 3 times a day, 11 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the afternoon and 8 o'clock in the evening. That's if we've got any quantity left. This morning, this was a really, really popular deal. The aluminium wire, if you've never used this before, the first thing you will probably notice when you take this out of the packaging is how lightweight this is. You could make a necklace using this entire bundle of wire that you've got here. This entire bundle being 50 metres. And you could wear that very, very comfortably. It is so, so lightweight, your aluminium wire, which is great. Because if you do want to fill your designs with lots and lots of wire, then it allows you to because of the lack of the weight, if you like, that you've got there. Now, it is your 1mm gauge. You are going to get the bronze, the gold, the silver, and the black coloured aluminium wire that you've got there. Now, the great thing about the aluminium wire is that it is so malleable. All of our wire is very malleable anyway, but the aluminium, it just takes no effort at all. It really, really doesn't take any effort whatsoever. Just to work with this is an absolute joy. It really is. You're going to have 50 metres of each, so that's 200 metres. 200 metres in total, and they are all the same gauge. So if you wanted to go for that designer look, you know, i.e. mixing up your different colours, you could absolutely do it with this if you wanted to. Sammi, have you worked with the aluminium wire before?
I have, and it's really good for making like big collars, which I have to do quite a lot, and that kind of thing. It's very good if you want to work with like the 2mm gauge copper and things like that, but you don't have the strength in your wrists, because that is quite difficult to work. You can achieve that look, but with the aluminium, and it is so workable.
It really is, isn't it?
But you can hammer it, and then it's keeps its shape really well, which is very important to kind of emphasize. It's really good fun. It's really good fun to work with.
It's just so, it's like, it's so soft. It's almost like a threading material, isn't it? It works so well. Quite often we've seen the 2mm gauge aluminium wire here at Jewellery Maker, but this is your 1mm gauge, which I actually haven't seen before. So you could literally just take a few of the different colours if you wanted to. Use your twisting tool. You could twist those together. Obviously, you're going to get a much better result if you use your twisting tool than I've got here. But you know, twisting those together for those different colours, that's going to give you quite a structural piece, isn't it? And look great as well. So you can mix those together, you know, your silver with the black, the silver with the rose gold, the silver with the gold colour if you wanted to. Use all of them together. You could simply plait them if you wanted to. You know, your kind of wire hemo designs and your macrame as well, you could do that quite easily. But as I say, if that was the 1mm copper wire, you would be able to do it, but it'd be a lot harder to do, wouldn't it?
It would. And they are really, really good for plaiting. Really good. Alison has done some absolutely astounding plaited pieces with the aluminium wire. Really beautiful.
Wow.
So
give it a go. Get this home. Give it a go. Send us the pictures of your designs. You know, if you're making a design, if you've gone to town on your aluminium wire piece and just use your aluminium wire, nothing else, or anything else, entirely up to you, but just send us your pictures. I'd love to see what you're doing with these, how easy you find it to work with. £19.95. That's 200 metres. 200 metres of wire that you've got there. I mean, that is going to go on and on and on and on, isn't it? It really will last 200 metres of wire at £19.95. You can be making your torque necklaces, your cuffs and your bangles with this. You can be making your rings with it quite easily. What does that work out to per metre, Phil? 10p a metre. 10p per metre is ridiculous. So, you know, if you want to have a practice, maybe you know a lot of our guest designers kind of make prototypes of things before they move on to their you know, their copper or their 925. You could perhaps have a go with something like this, couldn't you? And then if it doesn't go to plan, at 10p a metre,
No, and they're really good. It's really good for things like rose rings.
Yeah. Of course.
So if you can do a two-tone rose ring with the gold and the silver, or the silver and the copper, or copper and the gold.
Yeah.
It looks really, really good. It's really good for the rose rings.
Fabulous, aren't they? What an absolute steal. Loads of you coming through. I've got multi-buyers there as well. So that's 400 metres for those of you that have got 2. Wow, incredible. Somebody this morning bought 5. 1,000 metres of wire. My goodness, that's incredible. This is the thing, at these kind of prices, you can do that if you want to. And do you know what? Any auction, if we've got the quantity there, please feel free to do so. There isn't a limit on how many per customer you can check out. You can take as many as you like. KRGC70 is your code for these. 0800 644 655. You've still got your 30-day money back guarantee. If you get it home, even if you've made some jewellery, so you've made some jewellery and then you think, do you know what? It's not quite for me. I don't really get on with the aluminium wire. Just send it back. All that we ask is that you send your jewellery pieces back as well, and it will still give you your money back. Peace of mind for you there. Free telephone number, 30-day money back guarantee, 1 P&P in any one 24-hour period, midnight to midnight. What have you got to lose? Exactly. KRGC70. Well done if you've managed to get that, and well done, multi-buyers, well done. Right, pencil charms. Oh, we'll do the smoky quartz first. How high-end do these look? My goodness me. Oh, these are just... Do you know what? We've done the work for you here, haven't we, really? We really, really have. They're so high-end just by themselves. Don't have to do anything to them. Simply pop one of those on a chain. Gorgeous. 25 carats of beautiful smoky quartz. Look at the clarity on those smoky quartz. And look, do you know what? These are very big designer, 2 Cs. Yeah, they really, really are. Gosh, they're gorgeous. And that point there, the lines, the clean lines that you've got there, and that point at the bottom, it just draws the eye to that point, doesn't it? Imagine that on the neckline. It's just going to give you that beautiful focal point in your designs. Clean lines you've got there, and a really high professional finish. 25 carats, so we're talking approximately 8 point something carats per gemstone there. At £7.95, we're looking at approximately £2 something each as well. I mean, you could have those. You could have a pair of earrings if you wanted to, and the pendant. I'd just be doing pendants with these. What about you, Sammy? What do you think?
Definitely pendants.
Yeah.
Definitely pendants. Could get away with unisex on those as well.
Yeah.
Because I do some mind, body and spirit events. Those are the sorts of places that those would go especially well at.
Kind of like pendulums, aren't they?
Yeah, as well as being very contemporary.
Yeah.
So you've got both. That's a bit of a win-win on that one, I think.
Yeah. Definitely. Do you know, our director Ryan, he brought up the handbag first. It wasn't me. Just said in my ear, handbag charms.
Oh, lovely.
Perfect for that. Genuine gemstone handbag charm.
Light bulb.
Perfect.
Light bulb for your bathroom.
Oh, yes, Sammy. That would look gorgeous, wouldn't it? £7.95. Annie in East Sussex, Janet in County Durham, Pat in Cornwall, Anne Marie, well done. Annie Neath, you've got yours. Congratulations. Miriam, Linda, Evelyn on the Scottish borders, well done. YOPP85, quantity falling very, very quickly there. Keep dialing. Press your number 1 button when you come through on the phone lines. There is an automated message. You are more than welcome to listen to that anytime you like. But right now, time is of the essence. I would just make sure you're pressing that number 1 button and getting through as soon as you can so you can confirm your purchase. I've got about 15 people on the phone lines right now, and do you know what? There's about 10 of you with these in baskets. There's not enough to go round. You will have to check out as soon as you can. Angela in Dorset, you've just managed to get yours on the telephone lines, and Kathleen in Tyne and Weir, you've just managed to get yours on the telephone lines as well. Congratulations to you. Lillian, you've just joined me on the web. Deborah Gale, you're there. Congratulations. Anne, you've just joined me. Well done. In Shropshire, you're there. Collect in the West Midlands, you're there as well. YOPP95. Lillian's back in Hertfordshire. Lillian, you've been in a couple of times already today. 1 postage and packaging for you. Not just you, everyone actually that's been in today. Gorgeous. Right, so I've got some more, but these are the clear quartz. Whoa. Do you know, these are going to go with anything. Actually, quartz ones would, wouldn't they? clear gemstones, white gemstones and black gemstones. I'm always saying gemstone essentials because there isn't anything they wouldn't go with. In fact, you could use just some of your aluminium wire there, kind of torque necklace design, just pop one of those on, no problem at all. Look at the clarity. Gorgeous, gorgeous clarity. I mean, this is a bit elaborate maybe. I'm just thinking, Sammi, I mean, could we put these on the Christmas tree?
Why wouldn't you? A bit of light, that'd be a great idea.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Wouldn't that look incredible?
That would look amazing.
High-end Christmas tree. I love that. I love that. The idea of actually, you know, decorating, forget the tinsel, genuine gemstones. Yes. Do people have tinsel anymore?
Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah, do you not have tinsel?
I don't have tinsel on my tree, no.
I don't necessarily have it on a tree, I just have it everywhere else. It's all up the banisters, it's around everything. Well, I've got the children love to do that, so
Yeah,
they just go mad with it.
thing.
Some of it's looking a bit tatty now.
Do you know what I remember? Do you remember the kind of, I think this is kind of 80s, apologies if you still have them, but you know, like, you know the foil, like the concertinaed foil that would stretch out and the garland that you would pin on the ceiling. Do you remember those?
Yeah, I've still got those. You can still get those.
Excellent. Vintage Christmas. I said, right, no about Christmas, it's making me feel a bit poorly. Gold-plated copper pencil charms here, 34 by 6 millimeters in size, and again, you will get. Why did you do that? Phil just said, sit down. 4 paydays until Christmas.
No.
That's what our Phil says. August, September, October, November. If you're lucky, some people get paid early in December, just before Christmas.
Wow.
Gosh. £7.95, and it's a blind panic around the country now. NHPB 65 is your code for this one. 0800 644 655. Make sure you check it out as soon as you can. Multi-buy. They are gorgeous. Just gorgeous. Oh, Philip. He says on the plus side, 16 paydays until Christmas after. NHBP 65. Maureen, you're in. Congratulations. Catherine, Rachel, Weldon collected in Bedfordshire. You've got yours collected in the West Midlands. You're there as well. Lots and lots of these in baskets right now. Do remember, the only way that you can be successful is by completing your checkout as soon as you can. You're going to have these home in literally a couple of days' time. Simple jewellery making for me, this. I mean, you could embellish. You could wrap your wire around those as well, couldn't you, if you wanted to add to them. Stunning. Right, time for a star buy. Sammi, you are going to love this connector. Oh, this is so vintage. Oh, look at this. 6mm round natural pearl. You've got there. Isn't that just so beautiful? Isn't that just... Do you know, I would have that right at the front of a restranded pearl necklace, right at the front. Add a little pearl on the end there as well, a little drop.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, how high end would that look?
That's exactly what I do with it.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It's stunning, isn't it? Really, really is. Now, this is the kind of thing that I think, Sammi, you know, we were saying earlier on, things that, you know, kind of seal the deal and make a difference to your pieces, finishing touches. I think this is that finishing touch, isn't it?
It is. It's just gorgeous. And I always get really, really frustrated with the prices here because I can't make them for that price.
You speaking about making it for that price, Sammi. The price tag that we're going to today, I think with today's silver prices, if we wanted to remake this again, I don't think we could remake it for the price tag that we're going down to today. Hold on tight. 0800 644 655 WYPK 57.
No way. under a £5. I can't believe that.
I mean, that's...
Can you imagine how long it takes to try and smith something like that? Even if you're going to do something plain, with just a simple smith claw setting, it's going to take you more than £4.95 worth of labour, let alone the actual silver and the pearl.
Oh my gosh.
And then you've got all of that amazing detail.
It's
not as simple
a high-end finish as well, isn't it?
It really, really, really is.
This is, look at the luster from you, look at the quality in this. I mean, Sammi, you know, if you were kind of adding this in, so let's say, you know, you've got your standard knotted pearl necklace with your 925 clasp at the back. Then let's say, because this is a 6mm round, and I think we had some 6mm rounds the other day. So let's say you've got another 6mm round necklace.
Yeah.
This features in the centre at the front of that design, and then you've just got another little one drop in. You know, what would the price difference kind of be, do you think, for adding something like this in?
Minimum of 15.
Yeah.
More 20 to 30.
Yeah. It's that one thing I think, you know, you could look at a pearl necklace, couldn't you, and think, yes, that is beautiful. But then you'd see that pearl necklace featuring this as that focal point at the front of a design, and it would look like something that, you know, it should be in an antique store, you know? It's something that is so vintage, isn't it?
It should be on the Antiques Roadshow, is what it should be.
Yes, yes. I absolutely love that. I'm thinking as well, you could use these for earrings as well. If you're multi-buying Kieran, you could perhaps connect your wire to 2 of your loops there quite easily. Then they come up to a point, and you could have that long drop, giving that almost like a, you know, almost like a chandelier look, chandelier
you
drop.
just have a little bit, a tiny bit of chain.
Yeah.
To a single jump ring. You'd only need 2 tiny fine bits of chain to a single jump ring to hang that. You wouldn't even need to use wire if you're not, you know, just 2 little tiny bits of chain, and you'd have, I don't want to say hanging basket because that's not what I'm going with, but then you'd have a little drop, and you'd have such drama. It would look absolutely stunning.
Wouldn't it?
I really want a pair of earrings like that now.
Do you know what? I don't think. Do you know what? We've got people buying 3s and 4s. Collect It in Greater Manchester's got 3. Angela in Dorset's got 3. Collect It in Staffordshires got 4. Janet in County Durham, you've got 4. Kathleen in Perthshire, you've got 4. Well done. We've got a text message in. Suzette in Mauritius says, afternoon girls, I have one similar to this, and it is absolutely gorgeous. They are beautiful, aren't they? And we've got another text message. Oh, no, we haven't. I just imagined that. WYPK 57 is your code for this one. I mean, I would totally be adding a couple of these. I think that is going to make a massive difference in your designs.
$4.95. I'd be doing, you know, getting 4 or 5 or 6.
And we will have got people there buying that many. I mean, the silver weight in this. If I just turn that over onto the back as well, you can see your 925 stamp there, and you can just see how much silver that you've got there. I mean, the quality in this finding as well. You know, you've got real quality there, haven't you?
That's a lovely crisp finish. You know, quite often if you buy a finding from elsewhere, it's not got that engineered look. Yeah. And I want to say engineered because I'm looking for that quality. Rather than, you know, just sometimes they look a bit haphazard on the back. And again, for me, the first thing that people do when they come to your stall, or even if you gift a piece, is they turn it over and they look at the back.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely.
So for me, if the back looks really good, then you know that it's quality.
Yeah, definitely. And this piece certainly gives you that at just $4.95. Gorgeous. It's beautiful. Righty ho. Oh yes, I forgot about this. Gemstone chain. Never ever seen this gemstone in one of our gemstone chains before. Apatite. Look at this. So beautiful. Oh, do you know these gemstone chains? We've all said, you know, as presenters here at Jewellery Maker and guest designers, there's no way. I mean, you know, I'm not a jewellery designer. You know, I make the odd piece of jewellery here and there, but it's not something I do day in, day out. For me, to make every single one of these wrapped loops that you've got on these head pins, I mean, it would take me such a long time. You know, some people enjoy repetitive things like that. Some of us don't. So, you know, we're all different. But I think for all of us, even the advanced jewellery maker, that would take you quite a long time. Then you think of the cost. So the cost, what's it going to cost you for a metre of silver plated chain that you've got here? So you've got a metre long length of your silver plated chain. Then you've got the cost of your 10 carats of your sky blue apatite. So 3 by 2 millimetres, you'd probably be looking at a faceted strand, a microfaceted strand of rondelles there. So you've got your strand, you've got your chain, then you need your featherweight head pins to attach all of these gemstones to. You know, if you wanted to come and get some silver plated head pins, how much is that going to cost you? Then of course, all of that added together, then take the time. The time it's going to take you to make all of those. How long do you think it would take you, Sammi? I mean, would you even attempt to do something like that?
If I wanted to, of course I would, but I'd probably only feel the need to do it once just to prove I could. Probably if you're looking about, because I'm quite fast, you're looking about a minute wrapped loop.
Right.
So if you go 1 to 2 minutes per wrapped loop, that'll give you an estimate of how long that's going to take.
40, 42, 44, 46, 48, 50, 52, 54, 56, 58, 60, 62, 64, 68, 66, 70, 72, 74, 76, 78, approximately 78 gemstones there. So 78
about an hour and a
loops.
half to 2 hours if you 1 to 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and you know.
Or you could pay $5.95, Sammi.
Because I
And
mean,
we've done all the work for you.
1 hour's labour is going to be
Oh yeah,
£5.95,
yeah.
isn't it?
Goodness me, £5.95. I've only got 40 chances. I've never seen the apatite gemstone
No.
chain before.
For me, that's like loads of ready-made either stack-up bracelets, anklets,
Oh, yes.
foot chain,
Yeah.
necklaces, anything. You can do so much with it,
Yeah.
and it's such a decent length. You can do all of that with it, actually.
You could, couldn't you? A metre long length, you could get 2 16-inch necklaces if you wanted to, and a 7-inch bracelet or anklet out of that. You could just go for anklets, as I know a lot of you do with these. They are perfect. Oh, Phil. Our producer Phil just said, so if an anklet's called an anklet, why isn't a bracelet called a wristlet? Good question. Anybody know the answer? 60777, start a message with the word JM Studio. Bracelet, brace. Necklace, yeah, neck, anklet, bracelet. Answers on a postcard. FMPP68, half of the stock has already gone. I would multi-buy this one, as lots of you are. I'd go for that layered up look with one of these. Looks gorgeous, especially over a block colour. And you can add to this as well, because your links are so sizable on that gemstone chain there. You can get other head pins and wire through that and attach more charms, gemstones, if you want to, very, very easily. FMPP68, Helen in Kent, Karen in Anglesey, Gertrude's got 2, Marianne in Essex has got 2, Andrea in Dorset's got 2, Alice in Hampshire's got 2, Evangeline in Hertfordshire you've got 2, Shirley in Buckinghamshire you've got 2, Cynthia in Hampshire you've got yours, well done to you. Karen in Staffordshire, congratulations. Collector in Greater Manchester, Jane in Gloucestershire, Julie, Penelope, Anne, Diane, Andrea, Julie, well done. Sheila, Beverley, you've just got 2 in Cumbria, well done. Kim in Somerset, Sue, Christine in Kent's just got hers on the telephone lines. Sue in Nottinghamshire, I've got 10 left. 10 chances left at just £5.95 for you. There are so many guest designers that sit here and say, do you know what, I wouldn't even attempt to do that. Because a lot of us don't have the patience to do this kind of thing, do we?
Well, it's also, I mean, it's not just making the actual loop, it's getting each one perfect to the next one.
Yeah.
So when you sell the chain at the prices you sell it at here, all the guest designers buy it because it's not cost effective for us to make it when we can actually buy it cheaper.
Exactly.
That's it.
Win-win. Win-win. Right. Oh, Chrysocolla. Only 20 chances left. Look at these colours. Do you know, this is such a fantastic gemstone. It really is. You've got so many different hues of blue in your Chrysocolla. You know, from your real deep dark ocean blues through to your turquoise hues in there. It is so fabulous, this gemstone. It is quite rare, and it's something that I've never ever seen anywhere else. Now, interestingly enough, a couple of weeks ago, my mum said she was watching, it was something like Cash in the Attic or Dickinson's Real Deal, or you know, those kind of programs. So she was watching that, and there was a lady on there that had a chrysocolla and black agate Tiffany bracelet. It was in sterling silver. She bought it at a car boot sale for 50 pence. And she's like, imagine that find. Oh, that never happens to me, ever. Yeah, she bought it for 50 pence apparently, and she sold it, or it went to auction or whatever it was on one of these programmes, for £1,600.
Wow.
I mean, that's a good holiday. A few, actually. Isn't that incredible, you know? And I just, you know, Tiffany & Co, big designer houses, using this gemstone because it is so unique, and it is perfectly formed here as well. Completely natural gemstone. I think it's great for gents, chrysocolla. I really, really do. And you know, Sammi, I love to see chrysocolla with bare copper.
I do as well. I love to do it with oxidised sterling silver.
Oh, yeah.
And I love to do it with bare copper.
Yeah.
It is one of my favourite stones, and I'm not surprised you've got designers like Tiffany's using it, because it's got those colours that are reminiscent of Archibald Knox and his work.
Yeah.
It's those absolute stunning blues and greens that are just so, you know, they'd be mad not to use something like that, because it's beautiful.
I'm just looking at some of these. They remind me of duck eggs. You know, the patterns that you get in your duck eggs as well, and some of the blues in there. There's a real duck egg blues in there. They are gorgeous. 17 centimetre strand. Now they're 6mm rounds. I don't think there's anything you cannot do with a 6mm round. 50 carats in total. You've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. I'm going to go with approximately 38, 40 gemstones. £17.95. 50 carats. It is quite nautical. Yeah, Caribbean Sea. Yeah. Definitely. At 17.90, oh, that's everyone's there now. Cocktail in hand. Phil's already got his Hawaiian shirt on. GENV 90. Helen in Kent, Karen in Anglesey, Janet in County Durham. You've got yours. Tina in Suffolk, Sandra, Elizabeth. You've just joined me. Congratulations. Deborah, you're back in. Well done. Loads of you that I've already seen shopping today. Coming in time and time again. Marie in France. From the French for arm bracelet. There you go. Now we know. Thank you, Marie. Brilliant. Now we know. See, every day is a school day here at Jewellery Maker. If you have any little facts for us, you can send them in anytime you like. 60777. We'd love to hear them anytime. GENV90 is your code for this one. I think we should, yeah. Phil just said 4 o'clock every day. That's it now. We're going to start having a weird question of the day. And knowing our Phil, he will come up with some absolute corkers, I tell you. Well done if you've managed to check that out. Those are gorgeous. Right. Abalone. Oh, do you remember the pendants we had earlier on? Perfect together. Perfect. Look at these colours. You have the most incredible display of iridescence from this gemstone. Always makes me think of white linen trousers and summer. Abalone does. It's so beautiful. No two will ever be the same. In fact, these are two-sided. No two sides will ever be the same. Completely individual and unique. You get the most beautiful swirls of colour within your abalone. Purples, blues, pinks coming through there. Gorgeous golden hues. Shapes like this lend themselves beautifully as petals, don't they? You know, to make floral designs, perhaps in hair combs and fascinators.
Yeah, butterfly wings.
Oh, yes.
They're really nice and butterfly wings.
Yeah.
Little abalone butterflies look absolutely astounding. And you could do a little bit the Peruvian opal from the kit down the central bit of the butterflies.
Oh, the body.
With the wings. That would just, they'd look gorgeous. But those top jewel pairs are so easy earrings. They're kind of your moneymaker strand.
Yeah.
You just pop on a head pin, there you go.
Yeah, job done.
Yeah.
How much do you think you'd sell a pair of those for, Sammi?
Well, if I did them with sterling post, I'd probably go £8 a pair.
Yeah.
And without, I'd go £4 to £5 a pair 425, not 45. 'cause
Right,
that would
£4
be-
to £5 a pair. So
Yeah,
Sammy, you'd
yeah.
have your money back on one pair of earrings.
Well, that's the thing, because earrings are, like I say, they're our biggest. And they're beautiful. People love those earrings because they sparkle, they catch the light
They
so
really
well.
do. Yeah, you get all of that iridescence there. You've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 individual gemstones on this strand at £3.95. Money back on your pair of earrings, haven't you there? And that's 8 pairs of earrings that you've got in total there, especially with your 95. Sammy, you went £8, did you?
£8 on a 925,
Yeah.
yeah.
They're gorgeous.
They are absolutely stunning. I can't believe £3.95.
I know, bit of a giveaway
Well,
price
we used
tag
to
there.
sell that sort of thing at about £14.95.
Oh
didn't we,
yeah,
like
oh
last
yeah,
year?
abalone, most definitely, most definitely. The colours of this, the individuality, you know, when you want to buy anything that is as individual as this, i.e. a one of a kind, because that's what they all are, that comes with a premium price. It really, really does in life. You know, if you want anything that is that limited, you know, limited edition, kind of one of a kind, you could be paying an absolute fortune for something like that. Do you know what? You've got 16 one of a kinds on this very strand. Look at those pinks. Gorgeous. YUPO 69. Cheeky clearance deal. I don't think I've had any orange gemstones. I don't think we've had any orange gemstones at all today. You have, wow, the most spectacular inner glow from these. They are just fantastic. Now carnelian, it's very much like, you know, your kind of your rose quartz, your smoky quartz, your chalcedony family, whereby that gemstone has a certain diaphanity, which is basically the transparency of the gemstone, that just allows light to travel through the gemstone very, very slowly. So it creates a beautiful ethereal inner glow on its way through. Sammi, where were you? Where have you been when you've seen the best sunset? The best sunset. So where were you when you saw the best sunset you've ever seen? That's what I'm trying to say.
I think Woolacombe actually.
Oh really?
I
love Woolacombe. Love it there. Windy Woolacombe. We nickname it. Always windy in Woolacombe when I go. Or was it really?
It was
mine was
beautiful.
Ibiza.
Was it?
Yeah, Ibiza. Cafe Del Mar with my nan, yes.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's, do you know what? 200, 300 people sat in complete silence just watching the sunset. It was the most emotional moment of my life. It was brilliant. But yeah, if you think of the best sunset you've ever seen, I bet these colours featured in it. You know, those burning oranges, those burnt reds, just gorgeous. And that's what I always think of when I see this colour in gemstones, you know. It's when it takes me back to that time. It's the same with fire opal as well, you know. You've got the same kind of hues as your fire opal in your carnelian. 250 carats of your carnelian faceted rounds, 10mm rounds you've got here. Perfect stretches. Clearance price tag for a brand new strand. Yes, please. £3.95. Phil just said, were you in Wales when you saw that sunset? My best sunset, you said Wales, didn't you? Hey? Thought you were clever there, didn't you? No, we don't get to see any sunsets in Wales, it was too cloudy. Just joking. Customer says, wow, carnelian is mega expensive anywhere else. What a price. Yikes, this is beauty. Got mine. More education, we love this. Janet says, bracelet comes from the Latin Rachel, belonging to the arm, then the old French bracelet. There you go. I love this. I love these little facts that we have here. Jane's message in Cornwall says, mine was in a hot air balloon in Cornwall. Oh, Jane. Imagine that. Imagine being, I love sunsets. Sunsets and sunrise is my favourite thing. If I'm awake early hours, I will always have a little sneaky peek out the window because we have some fabulous sunsets where I live. Sunrises, sorry. But I don't get to see the sunrises very often, gotta be honest with you. XVPO56, you've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, probably about 40 gemstones on there. Well done to Audrey in County Durham. 5. Yes. That is approximately £20. £20 for 5 strands of genuine gemstone. And that's over 1,000 carats.
I'm not surprised, because you could potentially sell that strand for more on an auction site than you've just bought it for.
Yeah.
Not that I'm advocating that in any
And
way,
not do
but I
anything
know
to it at
people
all.
do that.
Oh yeah,
People do
of course,
that.
yeah. If you didn't want to do anything to it, you could absolutely do that if you wanted. There's nothing to stop you. Jenny and Zoe's got 2 collected in Greater Manchester. You've got 3. Congratulations. Anita in Bristol, Helen and Chris in Norfolk, Evangeline in Hertfordshire. Well done, Audrey. You've got 5. Suzanne in Merseyside, Mary in Lanarkshire, Barbara in Gloucestershire, Brenda in Buckinghamshire. All there. Madeline in South Yorkshire, Sharon in Essex, Simon in Neath, Hilma, Delia, Lamila in Devon, Arlene, Jill, you're there. Alex is texting. Hi Han, how long is the strand, hun? Hi Sammi and crew. It is 39 centimetres approximately, this particular strand. I've pushed those gemstones up together as well to try and give you an exact length on this particular strand. They're huge, aren't they? Really, really sizable. Well done. It's $3.95. Goodness. Blue quartz. Oh, do you know, I love this. Had this strand just the other day, and I have to say, it is one of the most beautiful blue hues. It's gorgeous. What does this blue? Do you know when you're trying to put your finger on something, and you can't quite put your finger on it? What do you think? What does this blue remind you of, Sammi? What kind of blue would you describe this as? Because I can't quite put the finger on it.
Shallows in the Caribbean, that kind of blue.
Oh, yes, I love this lady.
Not that I've actually seen it for myself.
Yeah.
But I've seen lots of nice photos.
Yeah, yeah, me too. I've seen those photos too. Haven't yet been there. I can't quite put my finger on the kind of tone, the shade of blue that we're looking at here. Isn't like I can't compare it to anything else. You know, like sometimes I say, oh, this looks like apatite, or this looks like, you know, I can't really compare it to anything else. It's quite a standalone, that tone. It's almost like a duck egg blue, if you like, isn't it? 145 carats of your blue coloured quartz you've got there, 8mm rounds. That is a 34 centimetre strand that you've got there. $3.95. Stretchies for me. Perfect stretch. Such a beautiful hue of your blue there as well. Look great with your pearls, wouldn't it? Look fantastic with your pearls and your bare copper again. I'd like to see that with bare copper, that kind of tone of blue that you've got there. TV KZ13 is your code for these. Look at the sparkle as well. That fantastic faceting there, which a lot of the time we tend to forget. And we shouldn't. I mean, £3.95. Forget the carat weight and forget the gemstone. The time that has gone into faceting every single one of those gemstones. You've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. There's approximately 45 gemstones. Can you imagine faceting just one of those gemstones? If you look at the number of facets on just one of them, could you do that? I've got to be honest with you, I wouldn't feel just said I wouldn't even know where to begin. I would not know where to start. Just one of those gemstones, I would imagine, took a very long time to facet. 45 times over in the strand, $3.95.
I get asked that actually. Do you cut the stones yourself?
I do.
I say I'd never get anything done if I did that.
No, I can't. Have you ever had to go at faceting a gemstone,
No, I'd
Sammi?
love to. I know there's a place down in Bristol that you can go and learn. But yeah, I'd love to.
I just can imagine. And the thing is as well, we look at some gemstones sometimes when they're small and think, yeah, it's okay, it's a small gemstone. The smaller it is, the more difficult it is to facet as well. I mean, the time that's gone into this strand alone, without anything else, this price tag doesn't justify it. But you know what? We're still going to give you a 30-day money-back guarantee as well. Take that 30 days to think about this if you need to. I wouldn't at that price tag. TVKZ13 is your code for these. Gertrude, Cynthia, you've got 2. Helen and Weldon collected in Lanarkshire. Lornia, Weldon collected in West Sussex. Simon, Evangeline, Janet, Helena collected in Yorkshire. Susie, Jenny, you've got 2 Delias there. Anne in Lanarkshire, you've got yours as well. Well done to you. Gorgeous. Right. Rubies. These are rich. Really, really rich. So deep in their hue as well. Oh my gosh. Wow. Do you know I've only got 41? There are certain strands, and I know I said this yesterday, but you just pick up strands here at Jewellery Maker, and I know just by looking at that colour that there is a natural ruby, because you just don't see that depth of colour in a treated ruby. You just don't. You know, I don't know whether the Fisher filling perhaps, you know, kind of, it gives it that inner glow. And yes, it does fill some cracks in that ruby, if you like, and helps with the clarity of the gemstone. But you don't see this colour. You just don't see this colour in a treated ruby. And for me, as far as tone and colour goes, this is my favourite. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do love to see a ruby with a glow in, and the treatment doesn't bother me in any way, shape or form. But the depth of colour, I mean, you've got a real deep, rich burgundy hue, deep raspberry hue to the gemstone. Now, only 5% of the entire world's supply of ruby is completely natural. 95% is treated in some way. You know, that leaves us with such a small amount. That leaves us with a tiny amount that is so rare. And actually, you've got 100 carats, a 3-figure carat weight of genuine ruby that is completely natural, just in one strand for you today. 7 by 5 to 11 by 6 millimeters in size, and that is an 18 centimeter strand. You've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. I'm on approximately halfway, so I'm going to go with approximately 30 to 32 gemstones on that strand at £11.95. Do you know what, that price tag, I would be multi-buying. I think I'd take one strand, simply re-strand it with that graduation because it looks beautiful, and maybe with another strand, I think I'd make earrings and perhaps put the larger ones in with a pearl necklace as a drop. What would you do with yours, Sammi?
Well, that's the strand that I made. My sterling silver, ruby, topaz, white moonstone. I did the connectors.
Yeah.
Or you've seen me wear it before, with just ruby drops around the whole neck. That's the strand I did it for.
Wow.
I absolutely love them.
Isn't the depth of colour just phenomenal?
It's amazing. There's nothing quite like a natural ruby. And obviously, if I'm going to put, I know the price tag is stupidly low, but if I'm going to put a lot of time and effort into making a necklace like that, then I'm only going to do it with a genuine, untreated, natural stone, because it's got to be able to stand the test of time.
Exactly. Exactly. Phil is just going to put a picture on the screen. We've had somebody else upload a picture to Facebook this afternoon on the back of Sammi's demonstrations. Oh my gosh, Kaz Frank.
That's beautiful.
See, look, I'm looking behind me to see if it's on the screen behind me because I want to have a closer look. I really want to pick that up and have a closer look. That is incredible. Great way of using the abalone pears that we had. Early on, I'm using, you know, your abalone cabs. That is unbelievable. I love that design. Kaz, that is amazing. Just amazing. Well done.
It does look like that seahorse is made of sea foam.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? It's perfect. It's a perfect design for a seahorse. It's gorgeous.
I wish I could do that. I tell you, it just looks so amazing. You're all so talented. You know, sometimes when we have Wall of Fame entries in, and, you know, we read them out and people say, this is my first attempt. And I honestly, genuinely think, gosh, it looks like you've been making jewellery for years and years and years. Incredible. That's just phenomenal. You know, anytime you want to put them on Facebook, your designs, you know, if it happens while we're on out, you know, if you drop us a message to let us know you popped it on Facebook, we can always put that on screen for you. Because you should be proud of your work. ZMRU48 is your code for the ruby, £11.95 for one of your big 5, one of the most precious gemstones on the planet. That is just phenomenal. Well done if you've managed to get those. Righty ho. Let's go for some tiger's eye. Rawr. Love this gemstone. We have a massive, these are huge individually, absolutely huge. I'm not on holiday next week. I know this isn't my last show today. I've got Monday and Tuesday. Gemma Crow, is it Monday or Tuesday? Tuesday, I think. And she's got a wirework lion. Wow. King of the Jungle, the kit's called, is it? It's perfect, isn't it? I love Tiger's Eye. Is a gemstone that featured heavily at London Fashion Week back in February of this year, September of last year. Believe it or not, I cannot believe it's literally upon us again in September. It is one of those gemstones that was all over the catwalk, but it's all about these colours as well. It really, really is such an earthly tone that you have, or earthly tones, I should say, within your tiger's eye. Now, this is a very, very collectible gemstone. Any gemstone with a phenomena such as colour change or an asterism or chatoyancy, like what we are seeing here, is very, very collectible. So the chatoyancy is what you are seeing within this gemstone, and basically that is like the opening and closing of an eye that you can see there, just moving across the gemstone, and that is caused by silk-like inclusions that are within the gemstone, completely natural. And your yellow tiger's eye, that is traditionally the colour that we would see within this gemstone. They are 10mm rounds, and they are faceted. You know, tiger's eye is one of those gemstones that glows anyway because of the colour and because of the chatoyancy, the light, the way the light plays this gemstone is incredible. But because every single one has been faceted, that reminded me of a beehive then. You know, the colours and the faceting on that recording. Because of the faceting on these as well, you've just got the most incredible sparkles throughout these gemstones. Going back to go-to colours, as far as findings and worries concerned, I think most of us would go for gold with tiger's eye, wouldn't we?
Yeah, but it's one of those that would take anything.
Yeah.
So you can get away with pretty much any colour.
Yeah.
Gold looks beautiful because it brings out the warm tones. Rose gold looks amazing with it as well. Bare copper. But yes, I think gold is just the pinnacle.
It is, isn't it? It's kind of, you know, a bit like gold with your lapis. It's kind of the obvious choice, isn't it? But as Sammi said, anything will work with these. JDPO12, 240 carats. Should we move on?
No way, you can't get it. But I'm just really blown away by that, because you can't get that real tiger's eye anywhere else for that. That is disgusting, Phil, quite frankly. Really is. Sorry, Phil, love you. But
disgusting.
It's disgusting.
It is, though. You know, and this is what Sammi said. We just can't be beaten. We just cannot. You know, time and time again, our prices are just ridiculously low, and this is why so many of you keep coming back time and time again. Can't help yourselves, can you? You can't help it. How can you not? JGPO12 is your code for this one. Anita in Bristol, you've got 2. Susan in Kent's got 2. Janine in the West Midlands. Oh, sorry, Janine. Oh, yes, you are in the West Midlands. You've got 2. Collect it in Greater Manchester, you've got 3. Barbara in Gloucestershire, Simon in Neath, Helen in Oxfordshire, Delia, Helen, well done. Suzanne in Merseyside, Julie in Essex, Yvette in Yorkshire, Collect it in Wiltshire, Antonia, Lisa, Wendy, Collect it in Surrey, Elizabeth in Aberdeenshire, Jill in Sussex, well done to you. Loads of you coming through on the phone lines. Isn't this great in gents' jewellery as well, Sammi?
It's great for everybody's jewellery. Yeah. Because it's so sparkly and just, tiger's eye is just beautiful. It's iconic, everybody's heard of it. It's just fabulous.
It is. And do you know what, this particular strand as well, you know, if I hadn't even been shown the price tag yet, I'd be saying this. I mean, it's a high-end strand that we've got here. I mean, the carat weight, the size of the gemstones individually are huge. Absolutely huge. And I think with this being such an on-trend gemstone as well, you know, if you are a follower of fashion, you know, or even if you're not and you have a craft stall, this is the kind of thing that will pull people in to your craft stall.
People have heard of it. Yeah. And that's really, I think, important, because they will look for it. But it's also, it's a very highly polished and high-end finish to that strand. Yeah. You know, I've bought strands elsewhere, I know, and sometimes they come through and they're dull and they're not properly finished. But that's what the price, you know, when you pay that price, you're expecting something quite shoddy, and you've got something that's amazing. Exactly. It's not right.
Yeah. Deb Briggs in the West Midlands says, absolutely loved the show this afternoon. Sammi, thank you for the amazing demos and inspiration, and thank you, Hannah, for being such a fan. Thanks, Deb Brooks. We met Deb once upon a time. Deb quite often comes in on the workshops, because I think you are quite local, aren't you, Deb? So yeah, it's really nice, you know, loyal customers here at Jewellery Maker. And this is what I'm saying, prices like this, that's why people have been with us since day dot. It's fantastic, isn't it? JDPO12. I hope you're all enjoying the show this afternoon. We've had some absolute treats, let me tell you. Opal. every single one of these solitaire rings for me. Do you know, I love strands like this. I'm just looking at this strand right now. I'm thinking, right, which one is my favourite? If I could pick any one of these gemstones for my own personal collection, I think it would be this one here. This one, because you've got this definite banding. And this gemstone always kind of reminds me of fluffy clouds in a nice summer sky. Fluffy white clouds in a lovely blue sky. And that particular gemstone right there with that definite banding in there really makes me think of that. Gorgeous, gorgeous tones. You've got real deep blue hues here, right through to those paler blues, those baby blue hues that you've got in your gemstone. If you got the kit earlier on, do you remember all those blue gemstones? We had the Peruvian blue opal, we had the blue pearls in there, the aqua coloured pearls, and the aquamarine.
Oh my gosh.
With the seahorse, all of those blue tones in there. Fantastic. Collector's gemstone is what we have right here. Your entire stash could just be about this gemstone and no other. You might be very familiar with Ethiopian opal. You know, generally when we're looking at opals, we're looking for play of colour. But with these particular, this particular variety of opal, you know, your pink and your green and your blues, it is actually about the colour of the gemstone that you've got here. Those tones, those banding, that individuality that you've got there. Every single one of these is just beautiful. 10 by 9 to 15 by 12 millimetres in size, 15 centimetre strand, 60 carats at just £9.95. You've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15 individual gemstones on that strand there. What would you do with these, Sammi, do you think?
Well, I think you're right. Solitaire rings and pendants.
Oh,
it's nice. Or if you wanted to make a stretchy bracelet, I would do. I'd have little seed pearls in between each one. It would look like the sea foam all the way around your wrist, I think.
That would look gorgeous, wouldn't it? Really beautiful. There's so many options with gemstones, you know, of this size. The way that they're drilled as well is brilliant because, you know, you don't have to use that drill hole if you don't want to. You know, you could wire wrap that into a ring design if you want to, or claw prong set it into a ring. You wouldn't even see the drill hole. You know, there's lots of options there because of the way that these are drilled as well, which is fantastic. £9.95. You've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, I think I did count them before, I beg your pardon. 15 individual gemstones. That is not even £1 each. DEND 57 is your code for these. 0800 644 655 or on the web this afternoon at JewelleryMaker.com. Check out your baskets as soon as you can for this. You've got some fantastic deals coming up for you this evening as well. Now I've got time for one more auction. Oh, Sammi, I bet you've got a couple of these. The table vice you've got here. How handy are these tools? You know, there's moments. I know somebody said earlier on, they use Handy Andy to help them put on a bracelet. It's one of those tools that is like an extra pair of hands. You know those times where you're thinking, oh gosh, I just wish I had another hand to help me out here. Quite often, we've seen you know, guest designers use these, literally just popping them onto a workbench or your table at home, whatever it is. You just pop that on there, and then here you can adjust this, and that will hold. Say, for example, if you want to put one of the cuffs, you know, the brass cuffs that we have in there, you could put one of them and you could, you know, hole punch, you could saw through that quite easily. I know I've seen you, Sammi, use them before with the wooden bangle when you were using the Dremel to hold it in place, to keep that still is fantastic. But this one, I think this is the turning one as well.
Yes, it is.
That one moves as well, which is brilliant. You've got that rotation there, which is really, really handy. So when that is on your workbench and you've got your, you know, it might be a wooden bangle or it might be a cuff, it might just be a sheet that you've got in there in place. That's going to allow you to work so easily. It is like that extra pair of hands. It's one of those tools that your partners get a little bit jealous over. It's like the hammers, you know?
Yeah.
Definitely. 0800 644 655. Again, going back to postage with this one, this is really, really weighty. If you took it to be posted in the normal everyday post, oh my gosh, you'd probably be paying more than the price on the screen that you would for your postage, wouldn't you? £7.95 BRGX25 is your code for this one. If you haven't got this already, get it home and give it a go. You know, you've got that 30-day money back guarantee. So by the time you've got it home, then you've got 30 days. It doesn't start from today. It starts the day you get this delivered to your door. So get it home, have a play with it, you know, pop it onto a work surface somewhere, pop it onto a table, and see how helpful you find this. If you don't, just send it back. £7.95. BRGX25. Even just literally, you know, when you're wire twisting, just to clamp your wires, you can twist the other end as well. It's fantastic for that. Angelique in Yorkshire says, I have this tool, Hannah, it's great. I keep mine permanently on the table.
Me
Don't
too.
blame you.
And have a look around, because those are really quite pricey.
Yeah.
They are really quite pricey. So have a look around at what you can pay for a 360 degree, that's important, vice. Because a lot of the cheaper ones don't have that turning. And that's, so if you're holding on, if you've got a piece of wire work, got a piece of anything in there, and you need to get to certain areas of it, you can just literally turn the vice. You don't have to move yourself, which I absolutely need, because it hurts if I'm moving stuff myself. So, you know, I need to move the object.
Deborah in Northamptonshire says, I caught my hubby trying to nick it from my workbench along with my chasing hammer. Words were said. I can imagine. Deborah in Northamptonshire. Woo! Right, make sure you check out your basket if you've managed to get. Just to point out, actually, all of our stainless steel products here at Jewellery Maker do come with an oil residue. It's meant to have that there. It's just to protect the product in its packaging. So don't worry, you might have to give that a wipe when you get it home. Right, let's go over to our Sammi. Oh, do you know what, Sammi? I've had an absolute fabulous time today.
It's just flown. I can't believe it's the end of the show.
It has gone really quick, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Massive. It's just absolutely flown. Time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it? First kit, the Swarovski kit. Still some available. There were 48, the most beautiful. In fact, Sammy's still got one of the designs on. There are 30 in baskets. 30! And we took them down to £17.95. I can't quite believe that. Have a look at the design that Sammy's wearing, actually. Those blues, I was saying earlier on, reminded me of Quad A graded tanzanite those Swarovski crystals did. They're stunning. I mean, look at that for a design. Isn't that just incredible? Sammi, thank you so much for today. When are you back, lovely?
I think it's the 23rd of August, but don't quote me because I could be completely wrong.
Do you have any idea of what show you're on?
Mid. I'm just guessing. I'm just throwing. I don't know what to watch.
Brilliant. Watch this space. Check our schedule on our Jewellery Maker website, and you can find out there. And also, Sammi will let you know on Facebook. I will be back with you on Monday's show. Zena's got loads coming up for you tonight. Whatever you're doing for the rest of the weekend, have a great weekend. Have a safe weekend, and I shall see you Monday back here. Take care.